Padres take Game 1 of the series versus the Reds with Game 2 tonight, and the Spurs crash the Big Apple party. Plus,
I want winners.
So we like the Yankees on the money line on the road.
Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Like the Phillies on the road as well.
Listen, you was really something incredible.
And then I like the under 216.5 in the NBA Finals tonight.
Spurs are headed home with a W, 115-111 over the New York Knicks.
I can do anything because I'm a winner.
let's head to the San Diego Sports 760 studios to get in the zone with Fletch and Sammy.
Yeah, let's get it going on a Tuesday. What's up, everybody? Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. Sammy will keep the party rolling after that from 2 to 3. Schaefer and Sliwa will be your drive home. Sammy, I'll give you about 30 seconds here right now if you want to correct Big Voice Guy who just made an error on that open.
I think we can let Big Voice Guy spoke. And
Are you a winner when you weren't a winner?
Was it my fault that Jalen Brunson hit a 3 with 20 seconds to go?
Of course not.
The under was about to hit. Listen, my Major League Baseball picks were money last night. Unfortunately, the Knicks went over. I did tell you, though, probably the Spurs would win the game. So, I mean, is it really a loser? I don't know.
Yes, it really is, because factually, there is not more money in my bank account today than there was yesterday. But it is San Diego Sports 760. We got a great show lined up for you today. Kevin Acey is going to stop by for his weekly chat coming up at 1:30. We will talk about those furious bunting Padres who got a win last night over the Cincinnati Reds. We will talk plenty about the NBA Finals game last night, in which Mike Brown, I do believe, is still at the podium talking about how many fouls were called on the New York Knicks.
Mike Brown was not happy last
He was pissed. I think I counted 5 times in 5 minutes. He talked about the officiating. And we got giveaways for you today. Excellent giveaways. So if you would like to go see Dave Chappelle, you know the drill. You're going to have to leave a talk back today on the free iHeartRadio app. Just open up San Diego's or the free iHeartRadio app. Listen to San Diego Sports 760. Find that little red microphone icon in the upper right-hand corner. Leave us a talkback. It can be up to 30 seconds long. If you leave a talkback during the show today, you are in the running for some Dave Chappelle tickets. We also have a pair of tickets to go see Parker McCollum on June 18th at Viejas Arena. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. We are going to start today with last night's NBA Finals game. It was game 3. I think if the Knicks would have won last night, you might be looking at a sweep in this series. That's not the case. Spurs end up winning it 115-111. De'Aaron Fox comes up huge in the final minutes of that game, knocks down a three-pointer that was really the nail in the coffin. And like Sammy said, Jalen Brunson ruins the over-under by hitting a 3 near the end. But when you talk about the story of that game, it was an incredibly physical matchup. These teams are growing to hate each other more and more as time goes on. That was obviously an extremely hostile environment in Madison Square Garden. And you could tell from the jump, right? It's the first quarter, and you got Victor Wembanyama, call was missed, by the way, shoving Jalen Brunson by the neck almost to the ground. Like, things are getting chippy in this series. And where I'm going to give Mike Brown a little bit of credit, the fouls were wildly lopsided last night, and they weren't lopsided towards the home team, which they never should be anyways, but it was completely the opposite. I believe in the second half, out of every one foul called against the Spurs, there were 3 fouls called against the Knicks. So a 3-to-1 ratio in the second half for a team that's fighting. And remember, the Spurs got up to a big lead in this game. Knicks fought all the way back. They had about a 10-point lead going into the second half. And then all of a sudden, the whistles start blowing. And the Knicks were in the bonus for the Spurs were in the bonus for the final 10 minutes of that game. Like, it was a little chaotic, the foul calling in that one. Now, I'm not saying that the refs determined the outcome. I thought the Spurs outplayed the Knicks. I thought the Knicks took some terrible shots last night. But you look at it, and it does make you scratch your head a little bit because the officiating was not good last night. Sammy. It's not the story, but it is a story. Right.
Look, I watching that game, I did not come away with that of the Spurs won because of the refs.
I didn't either live, but the box score does tell you something different.
They only shot 10 more free throws, though. So for everything we hear about, yes, was the second half, it felt like the Spurs, that's what Mike Brown's talking about. The free throw disparity in the second half was heavily in favor of the Spurs. But on the flip side of that, the Knicks are a team that because of Victor Wembanyama patrolling the paint down there, they weren't driving in as much because he's such an excellent shot blocker. Typically, the Knicks are a drive first team. They settled for a lot of outside jumpers. They kept taking jumpers around the free throw line. Jose Alvarado had that tremendous play where he kind of jab step Wemby and went up. I didn't come away from that. I came away with Jalen Brunson not have a good night. Way too much dribbling on the perimeter, and Karl Anthony Towns. This is the first game we've given Karl Anthony Towns a lot of praise through the first 2 games, rightfully so, because he was really kind of punking Wemby. Well, Wemby punked him yesterday. 0 points in the fourth quarter, 1 assist. That can't happen from your star big. I mean, the reason that they won the first 2 games is because Karl Anthony Towns was playing up to the star that a lot of people thought he could be years ago when he came into the league, and it wasn't there last night. And the Spurs looked calm down the stretch. I got to give the Spurs a lot of credit because when they go up 12 in the first half, they blow the lead, and then the Knicks end up 7 at half. And then to kind of maintain composure with Castle, you mentioned it, De'Aaron Fox had that clutch shot down the stretch. They looked like the more composed team. And it's funny how the teams on the road in this series have looked more at ease than the teams at home. Maybe it's the crowd factoring into it, but the Spurs, I don't think the refs are to blame last night.
I don't either. I think Jalen Brunson should probably carry a lot of the blame. I mean, the first half, especially some of the shots he was taking, it was like Jalen Brunson was trying to be the guy where he wasn't just being himself. Like if Jalen Brunson plays like himself, the Knicks have a pretty good chance to win this series pretty easily. But last night he was almost doing too much. And look, how could you not? Tickets were going for 150,000 courtside.
Right.
Like that is one of the biggest moments in New York sports history was last night. These players taking the court. It was huge. And so I get it why Jalen Brunson was probably trying to play a little above his height. No pun intended. I know he's a little guy. But you look at what the Knicks did last night, and I just thought they were playing very uncharacteristic to who they've been during this 2-month winning streak. And that's unfortunate.
And the Knicks are really about the whole roster.
Right.
Mikal Bridges getting those 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes of the game was big because he was really taken out of the game for about 3 quarters because he couldn't really find a rhythm. It did feel like they went back to playing a little bit of hero ball. And Karl Anthony Towns, like we've had this conversation about Anthony Davis over the years, extremely talented bigs, both him and Cat. In the NBA Finals at home, it's one thing to lose. It's another when you're not calling for the ball and being aggressive in that fourth quarter. Like that can't happen because if Karl Anthony Towns is not going to be aggressive, the Spurs really are live dogs in the series.
Now, the finals that the Lakers won with AD, he was tremendous in that run. But Karl Anthony Towns left a lot to be desired last night. We'll see if he can get it back. And I think the Knicks will. I think they bounce back well from this game tomorrow night. And they probably get a win in game 3 or game 4. If they lose game 4, we're having a very different conversation. All right, let's get to the big 3 of hour number 1. We'll get to some of these texts that are already coming in. Very, very funny, everybody. Sammy, go ahead, smash it.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? Coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big 3.
All right, YouTube is up at San Diego Sports 760. Twitter up as well at Fletch and Sammy. Find us there. And always on the free iHeartRadio app. Listen to San Diego Sports 760. Hit that little plus button. Makes it easy to listen to this show any day, any night, from anywhere in the world or the country. Sammy, where are we going?
AJ Brown. AJ Brown saga continues. AJ,
he's so happy.
He's so happy. Remember he said he was in heaven, about to be in heaven now that he's with the New England Patriots.
Sammy, did you know he had a Patriots rug the entire time he played for the Titans? And
it's so excessive. It's like those people on Instagram that tell you how much they love their spouse or how much they love their girlfriend or boyfriend. This is like what AJ Brown is doing now with the New England Patriots. Their situationship is already there. AJ Brown, though, on his way out of town, was cleaning up his locker room, everything from Philadelphia, wrote on the whiteboard in the Eagles facility, per reports, I'm the best to ever play here, always open.
AJ Brown is working towards being one of the most immature players we've seen in a long time.
Working.
Yeah, I mean, there's other players who exist. Didn't Randy Moss moon an entire stadium? Odell Beckham Jr. peed like a dog. Like, there's been a lot of immaturity, right? AJ Brown is working his way up that list. I will say there are reports out and pictures out of AJ Brown having the biggest smile ever at Patriots training camp. There was a writer who's been following AJ Brown's whole career from Tennessee to Philly to now New England. And he said this is the happiest AJ Brown has ever been in the preseason. I tend to believe that. I think that he has a special relationship with Mike Vrabel. I actually think this works out well. But man, if he's bringing this sort of behavior into Drake May, who's going into year 3 and still in a very fragile position in his football career, I don't know how this works out for that. I would much rather AJ Brown going to an established quarterback who's confident in where he's at in his life.
It feels like a big risk for Drake May. I mean, on paper, I guess they need a better receiving core. To Drake May's credit, he worked with Kayshon Boutte and Stephon Diggs being your 2 best receivers last year and still making the Super Bowl. For all the flack I give them about how I do think it was a very fortunate path and they played an extremely weak schedule all season long, his receivers weren't up to snuff. Now you got Romeo Doubs and AJ Brown. But, I mean, getting players who demand targets. Like, there's divas, but then there's divas maybe off the field, but there's guys who are all about the team. Like Jackson Smith and Jigba for the Seahawks. Best player on the team. You didn't hear him whining about targets. He just got targets because he got open.
To be fair, has Justin Jefferson ever once complained publicly?
No, and he could.
And he's been through it.
Justin Jefferson has earned every right to be like, get me out of Minnesota. I want to play with a quarterback who can get me the football, and he doesn't. And yet we hear AJ Brown talking about won a Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts, criticizing his play. What is going to happen with Drake May? If this thing goes south fast at all, I think it could come undone, and it's, he's a locker room cancer. Sorry.
Big risk.
He is.
Who next?
All right, let's stick with the NFL. So Rams, Alaric Jackson arrested on domestic violence charge. Their left tackle. Obviously, the situation is still ongoing. But I think if you're the Rams, you have to be nervous because, like, what we don't talk about, the defense is going to be unreal. Matthew Stafford has dealt with a back injury each of the last couple seasons, and who knows what happens with this. Maybe he's not going to be there for the season. I don't know what's going on with that. But, like, the Rams being the surefire favorites, they should be the favorites. But I don't know that – I feel like we're maybe giving them – like, not giving the rest of the NFC enough respect, despite that maybe it's just the recency bias that they got Myles Garrett, but – it feels like maybe we're overhyping the Rams a little bit.
I would tend to agree. I think the NFL is special in the sense that it truly does not matter who wins the offseason in the NFL because we get to see weeks 1 and 2, and every team is going to look a little bit different. Matthew Stafford, people forget this, was almost not playing last year. Now, he had an amazing season, and the back didn't seem to be an issue at all through the regular season or the postseason last year. But that was a problem. And at the time, preseason last year, I remember this vividly. About 4 weeks before the season began, people were saying, look, this is a problem he's going to have the rest of his playing career. So if he comes out this year and the back doesn't hold up, like what if it was just a miracle he got through last season without it? You know what I mean? So I don't think we could just pencil anybody in. And that's why, by the way, even after they got Myles Garrett, it was 6-1 underdogs that they would win the Super Bowl this year. It's not like it was a crazy, like it'd be a long shot bet for the Rams to win the Super Bowl this year. The NFL is special, and that's because nobody knows anything until week 1 of the season starts.
Right, it is, and it's the NFL is just because you're the best team, you don't win. Not, I mean, sometimes, but not
weird shaped ball. It bounces all over the place.
I mean, this is why the NFL playoffs are the highest rated. It's not even close. It's a 1-game scenario, and you turn the ball over a couple times, a couple bad breaks. I mean, look at the Rams. The Rams were a 4th and 4 conversion away from being in the Super Bowl in Seattle, not winning last year. So there's a lot to be played.
Kyle Williams muff punt.
Right. Should they be the favorites? Absolutely. The way they have revamped their defense is fantastic. But Matthew Stafford, did they get that other receiver? You're also Devontae Adams getting up there in age a little bit. Puka Nacua, can you rely on him after a little bit of a crazy offseason? We'll see. They should be the favorites, but I don't see them being the 1 seed in the NFC because they have to play the Niners twice, because they have to play the Seahawks twice. And that's going on the road to some tough places in the NFC. This is not a surefire walkover like the Patriots had for years when they would be the 1 seed in the AFC because they had no competition in their division.
Did number 3 of the big 3 come from Mr. Adam Schefter?
It did.
We're going to play you some sound on the other side. Adam Schefter has spoken. I believe this was on a podcast, and Adam Schefter, the NFL reporter, has some very, very bad news to share with everybody. We'll deliver that on the other side.
Not if you're a Rams fan.
Plus, we got a text from the 913 that says, did you guys announce your live event details on World Cup broadcasting? Ooh. We want the tea, Sammy. Well, Sammy, we're going to spill the tea coming up next. San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app. Yes, indeed. Hear every match of Team USA in the World Cup right here on San Diego Sports 760. In fact, Sammy, Team USA and Paraguay, don't they play this Friday at 6 o'clock?
They play on Friday on 6 o'clock, guys.
6 o'clock? What time do Schaefer and Sleewell usually get off the air?
They get off about 6.
Oh, do they? So you're saying our station day from noon to, I believe, 5:30 actually on Friday is going to
pregame
lead up right to kickoff between Team USA and Paraguay?
Guess what we're going to be?
We're going to be at the Piazza de Familia down in Little Italy. We're going to be outside in the Piazza. Come on by, say hi. We will have a guest microphone, and you will be allowed to take that guest microphone and say whatever you want within reason into it. So swing on by Little Italy, the Piazza, which is the main kind of gathering area in Little Italy. Where they're celebrating Team USA's first game in the World Cup this year. They're taking on Paraguay. There's going to be all sorts of watch parties down there right after we all get off the air. So swing on by, hang out in Little Italy for the afternoon. We're going to be broadcasting live from noon to 5:30 and then listen to the game right here on 760.
Wearing your red, white, and blue. Very excited for we're going to get a little coverage leading up to the game. Very excited for that. And yeah, come down and say hi. Have a couple drinks.
All of our entire station is going to be out there. So we would love for you to swing by. Schaefer and Sleewell will be out there. Of course, Sammy and I will be out there. We can't wait for it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Again, Little Italy. We're going to be right in the middle of it this Friday, getting ready for Team USA versus Paraguay. Is that a game Team USA should be winning, Sammy?
Yes, we are currently plus 105 on the money line, but in soccer, because of draws, plus 105 is good, because if you're betting in the 90 minutes, if there's a draw, there's 3 different options. So
win, lose, tie. And tie is like just as
betting soccer is interesting because you can get tricked into thinking that if you bet America plus 105, that covers extras.
Right. And it doesn't?
No.
Okay. Good to know. We may need to get a soccer handicapper or a soccer bettor.
I would love. Yes.
Let's get someone like that on the show tomorrow. We start doing some research after the show today, but it's going to be very, very fun. So to answer your question, 913, we're going to be out there this Friday, Little Italy, the Piazza de Familia in Little Italy. If you want to swing by and say what up, we would love to have you. And we'll have an extra chair, an extra microphone for you as well, so you could jump on with us. Can't wait for that. All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. Adam Schefter in the podcast world is sending some ripples through the NFL today. He had to say something about the Los Angeles Rams and the potential of a certain someone making his way back to the team. Let's take a listen.
In your opinion, how realistic is it for Aaron Donald to return to the Rams?
When you talk to all the people involved, nobody is coming out right now and saying Aaron Donald is coming back. But everybody is acknowledging that it is a possibility. And the fact that it is even a possibility in June tells me that I think there's every possibility it will become more real in July. And I think if and when they present a plan to him as to how he would be used, I think it's more likely than not that he'll be back. Now, nobody said that. Nobody said that. Everybody thinks, we'll see. It's possible. We're talking about it. He has to commit to it. It still sounds like we're a ways away. He has not gotten there yet.
Adam Schefter saying more likely than not, Aaron Donald could be back. Why wouldn't he?
If you're Aaron Donald, you sit there and go, wait, so I don't have to take triple teams because Myles Garrett's going to take my old role. I mean, Kobe Turner, Brandon Fisk, like there's some decent pass rushers already there that no one's talking about because of Myles Garrett and the headline of Aaron Donald. And now Aaron Donald just gets to worry about rushing the passer. And I mean, you're talking about, you can't send 3 guys at Donald and at Garrett. And you got to figure it's going to be sent at Garrett because he's the younger guy.
Sure.
I mean, you're talking about some one-on-one pass rushing situations, which if Aaron Donald can encapsulate anything he had a few years ago, that's scary for the league.
Now, that's the thing that I would say is the number one thing holding him back. Aaron Donald retired at the age of 32. Obviously, he still had a lot left. He could have still been the best defensive player in football for the next few years. I have no doubt about that. If he played the last 3 years, he probably would have won another 1 or 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards. He's now 35. He's been out of football for 3 years. I understand, and I've seen the videos of him working out. The dude is a monster. He's an animal. He looks like the same guy who was playing in the NFL. Talk to any NFL player and ask them what 3 years off would do to you. Like it is a
Yes,
tall task. It is climbing Everest. He hasn't taken a hit in 3 years. He has not worked out like that in 3 years. I understand he's in the gym. I understand he still looks great, but he has not played football in 3 years. I would be worried personally. NFC West fan, I'm a Niners fan. I would be worried if Aaron Donald came back to the Rams. I don't think he would be the same Aaron Donald coming back to the Rams.
But I think he would because he's not going to be the number one thought of the defense. If I understand your point, if they were like, let's bring Aaron Donald back and he's going to be the best pass rusher on the team, because when him in his prime, and he was literally, they're sending 3 offensive linemen. He was so dominant.
It still didn't work.
It still didn't work. I mean, he was too fast for the interior guys, and he was too strong for the exterior on the guys on the end. So the fact that Myles Garrett's going to be taking the brunt of this, and again, they have a good front seven already. Kobe Turner, Brandon Fisk, like this is a great back end now with McDuffie and Jalen Watson. Him just having to rush the passer, and the best part about that, if you're the Rams, is because he's been off so long, he doesn't have to be an every down player. You could literally bring him in on pass rushing downs just to rush the passer. I mean,
it would be a home run.
Now the weird part about this though, the Rams have not allocated any money for Aaron Donald to return. They allocated all their money in the Trent McDuffie signing or trade, the Myles Garrett trade, eating up all their cap space. So you can always find money in the NFL. I'm sure Matthew Stafford and these guys would switch their cap hit so Aaron Donald could come back. But I wonder, he's not going to do it for free.
No, and he'd probably want exactly what he was making when he left. That's what I would do. And there's also the conversation about family. Like his wife has already spoken out about this, saying you guys are idiots. You're crazy for thinking that Aaron Donald would come back. I wonder how that conversation's going now. But Schefter's talking about it. That means he's heard something. That's the only way Schefter would say something like that, is he knows something else is happening. So I would imagine Schefter's probably right, and Aaron Donald could be making his way back very, very soon to the Los Angeles Rams. Watch out, world. He's back.
Think Brock Purdy's getting an insurance policy?
I would. I might take one out on him just as a fan. Can you do that? Can I take out an insurance policy on someone else?
on Brock Purdy's life.
Seriously. All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. Let's talk about those Padres on the other side. They got a win last night. How about it? Freddie Fermin homering in 3 straight games.
Yeah, everyone was trashing this guy, and all of a sudden he's the best hitter on the team.
Yeah. I mean, I think we both said it on this. Get him off the team, DFA him, and then all of a sudden 3 homers in 3 days. Kind of impressive. It's San Diego Sports 760. Let's talk about those San Diego Padres coming up next live on the iHeartRadio app.
This was sponsored by Allstate. Padres will be back tonight, 6:40, taking on the Cincinnati Reds after getting a big W yesterday over them, 6-2. On the mound tonight for the Padres will be Lucas Giolito, while Chase Burns will be going for the Cincinnati Reds. We got the Stanley Cup Finals, Game 4 tonight in Las Vegas. Is currently a pick'em on the money line. That game will be at 5:00 as Vegas looks to take a 3-1 series lead. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
America is turning 250 years old, and we got $250,000 in cash to celebrate. Listen for your chance to win $2,500 so you can take the ultimate American getaway. Win your share of 250 grand. Just listen for the keyword, then enter it at sportssd.com. Your next chance to win coming up just after 2:00 here on San Diego Sports 760. All right, we mentioned at the top of the show, we got a couple giveaways going on today. You're going to have to win them on the talkback mic. Dave Chappelle is going to be at Viejas Arena on June 21st. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Get yours before they're gone. We're going to need a talkback out of you. So open up the free iHeartRadio app, search San Diego Sports 760, and tap the little red microphone icon when you're in the app. Now, Sammy, did you get a talkback request yesterday on your show? We were asking the text line to maybe give us some questions. No?
Yeah, I got some.
Okay.
What did you send one in or something?
No, I didn't. I'm just curious if you got a question request from the text line that we could ask today on our show for.
A question request today. No. People were just sending talkbacks in. They just wanted to win tickets. They didn't care about they didn't want to show prep for us.
Perfect. Then we'll throw this one out there because the Padres just got a win over the Cincinnati Reds, and that was great to see. It really was. But what are your thoughts on the San Diego Padres right now? You know, I was on Soren Petro's show out in Kansas City yesterday, and he asked me if people in San Diego believe anymore that Fernando Tatis Jr. really is all his success just came from the steroids, basically. And I was kind of caught off guard by the question. And I was like, Soren, it's a good point. But I think a lot of people are kind of on that side now where it's like he was one player pre-steroids, one player after. So Fernando Tatis Jr. ends with how many home runs this year? That is the question for the talkback mic.
Ooh.
Let us know. And we will play those throughout the rest of the show today. If we pick your talk back by the end of the show, you won a pair of Dave Chappelle tickets.
So how many will he end up with? He's got one now.
Freddie Fermin's about to put like 60 up, I think, this year.
I mean, I think if you put down that Fernando would hit 15 home runs this season right now, people would immediately take it. I mean, if you said 15.
Oh, if you said that was his total for the year?
Right. I think people would
sign up for that in a heartbeat.
I mean, what's the over under? 7.5?
It's got to be around there, yeah, right now. Let us know on the talkback mic. You might be getting a pair of tickets to go see Dave Chappelle on June 21st at Viejas Arena. That will be a sold-out show. We may be your last safe haven to get these tickets. So leave us a talkback now. How many home runs will Tatis finish the year with? All right, it is San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long. Last night, the Padres do get a win. They win by a lot. Look, it was a close game. Padres were trailing for the majority of the game. And then in the seventh inning, back-to-back bunts, gets the Padres the lead and allows them to take the lead. They kind of walk home with the win with an excellent bullpen. Now, if you've been paying attention at all to the Cincinnati Reds and what they've been doing, last night kind of follows the script of how their season has gone. They get an early lead. They do have a really good starting rotation. Padres struggled
Chase Burns tonight is fantastic.
Abbott last night was great. And so the Padres have struggled against starting pitching all year long. That was no different last night. But the Padres got to the Reds bullpen, and the Reds bullpen is putrid, and they should be able to get to the Reds bullpen. Hopefully they do it again tonight. But it was the 3 bunts in a row that, it's just kind of funny. It's like, the Padres bunted that game wide open, and they did. And that's how they got the lead back. That's how they eventually won the game. But look at the box score from last night. What did Manny Machado do? What did Fernando Tatis Jr. do?
Right. Well, and they could have, watching that game last night, I thought we were going to be coming out and having a totally different conversation. Remember, it was 3-2. Padres had bases loaded, and Fernando came up. It was an opportunity. Now the game, because of the bunting, ended up being 6-2. Padres won, which is great. Padres won. Finally had to stop that losing streak. But that moment, I was like, this is Fernando's kind of quasi moment. Is Fernando and Manny going to put the game away? Are you going to put one in the gap, make it 5-2, put one over the wall, and really kind of put your stamp on this game? They didn't. Now, credit to the Padres for going a little small ball. Felt very Mike Schulte in that they kind of just batted around the base pass, and it's a smart thing to do. Am I the biggest fan of small ball? No, but at the same time, when the Padres are struggling to hit the ball over the wall, they're consistently towards the bottom of the league in power and batting average right now. They're the worst in Major League Baseball. So whatever you can do to try to manufacture some runs until you hopefully can figure something out and get out of this. I don't know if you call it a slump. Maybe there's not good bad offense. And so I give him credit for doing that, but right. It does also feel like the Cincinnati Reds are also in the wild card hunt. So credit to the Padres yesterday for getting that win. There is zero excuse to lose this series because we've seen this before. They beat the Dodgers the first game. They lost the next two. They beat the Cubs the first game. They lost the next two. We've seen this play out at home a little bit this season. Now, the Reds are not the caliber of the Dodgers. The Cubs, I guess you could debate because the Cubs have been in a little bit of a free fall. But, I mean, there really is, like, that's great that they won last night. That's not a sustainable way to play. I give them credit for going to small ball and trying to just get back in the win column because that's really what was needed last night. But you got to figure, I mean, it'd be nice to see them hit a good starting pitcher in Chase Burns and get to them at home and not have to always rely on getting after the bullpen in some regard.
It is crazy. You look at it in the top four of the Padres lineup yesterday, Tatis, Merrill, France, and Machado were on base a total of 2 times and a total of 1 hit. And they each had 4 at-bats last night. Xander had a nice night, 2 for 4. And then Jace Bowen and Samad Taylor were really the heroes, the 2 guys who have been kind of called up to this team. They were great last night, and they were part of the bunting trio from last night. But Samad Taylor with 3 ribbies on the night, it was really good to see them come out and play like that and play with a little fire, because I don't know that we've seen that from the Padres necessarily this year. But the story remains the same. If you're going nights and nights and nights with Fernando, Merrill, Machado not hitting the baseball, you're not going to win a ton of games, and this trend will continue. I would agree with something Sammy said in a big way. This series against the Reds is just magnified because of how tough the schedule is around the Reds for the San Diego Padres. What they just came from, losing the 11 out of 13, and then moving forward here, it doesn't lighten up. You got the Dodgers, you got the Braves coming up very soon. You got the Dodgers twice in the next like 3 weeks or something.
Right, in the span, you got the Cubs in there. So like, there's really no time to be messing around. I mean, you talk about one way or the other. If the Padres have the stretch that they would have shown us so far this year, they would have against the Braves and the Dodgers and the Cubs over those 2 weeks, the Padres could very well be out of this playoff race. Now, they have everything in front of them. I'd rather be playing those teams where you have the ability to actually make an indentation on the playoff standings. Forget about the division. That's completely out of reach. But the fact of you're going to get an opportunity to play well against the elite competition. They haven't done it this year. It's one thing to bunt around the bases against the Reds. Again, I give him credit for last night. It was great to see him get back in the win column. But watching that game, that's not a sustainable way to play if you really want to beat the upper echelon of talent in the NL and the AL.
858 on the text line says, this team has made me realize that the best part of being a Padres fan is that eventually you will die.
Whoa.
619 Tatis 4 home runs this year unless Albert Pujols comes in as the new hitting coach and teaches him how to use ringworm ointment without being detected. Good call, 619.
Marty's weighing in on how many home runs he believes that Tatis will hit.
This is Marty Madrigal from Imperial Beach. My son Orion has a guess of how many home runs Tatis is going to hit.
She's going to hit like 5 or 6 this season, hopefully 10.
Shout out to Orion.
That was a whole family talk back, man. That was awesome. Thank you, Marty. And Ryan was his son's name?
Orion, yeah.
Orion, thank you for listening to the show, everybody. Hey, before we get out of here on this seg, we got Long Shots with Sammy coming up next. A very happy birthday to Tony Gwynn while we're talking Padres here.
Hell yeah.
May 9th, huge day in San Diego. In TG19, appreciate you, pal. And thank you, Jay Sills, for pointing that out. I saw that earlier today. And always a big emotional day here in San Diego. But the greatest Padre to ever live, Tony Gwynn, born May 9th, 1960. May he rest in peace. All right, at San Diego Sports 760, we got some long shots coming up next. Plus, we're going to remind you about something that's kind of always in the background here at San Diego Sports 760. That's coming up next on the other side, live on the iHeartRadio app. It's Fletch for the Valley View Casino and Hotel. Look, oftentimes when you think about stuff to do, you think about your experience that you have. And when I think about my experience, I think about the people I interact with. And at Valley View Casino and Hotel, I'll tell you 100% honest and from experience, they treat you like family out there. They really do. The dealers at the blackjack tables. I remember playing with Mike and Carlos over there on Double Deck. They are some of the nicest people you will ever talk to. And that goes for the entire staff of the whole place. Anyone working at the restaurants like Jackie at Patties and Pints, they will make sure that you are having the best time possible out at Valley View Casino and Hotel because it means something to them and customer service means something to them out there. So if you're looking for a spot to go hang out, man, can't recommend anywhere higher than Valley View Casino and Hotel. They also are home to San Diego's most generous players club, and they want to give every new guest over $200 in free gifts today. We're talking about free offers to enjoy instantly at Valley View Casino, including $10 or more play, which is free slot play, $10 a match play, $20 to the Black and Blue Steakhouse, $10 off your meal at Patties and Pints, which is home to the Austin Burger, one of my favorite burgers here in San Diego. Plus, you're going to get a free collectible t-shirt and 2 free Maine lobster buffets when you upgrade from red card to blue card status. That's right. It all adds up to over $200 in free offers. Signing up for the Players Club is always quick, easy, and free. And the more you use that card on all your favorite slots or table games, the more rewards you're going to earn. Don't miss out. Get on out to Valley View Casino and Hotel. Join the family out there and join the Ultimate Players Club to get over $200 in free offers today. To learn more, visit valleyviewcasino.com. That's a fact. San Diego Sports 760 is your home for the 2026 World Cup here in San Diego. Get daily match updates from the opening match on June 11th to the final. Hear live play-by-play coverage of the most anticipated games in every Team USA match. 2026 World Cup coverage lives right here on San Diego Sports 760. Hey, before we get to long shots today, and we'll see if Sammy's cooking us up a big winner.
I got a good one today.
We do want to give a little shout out here. So if you've been watching on YouTube or if you are listening on the station, you'll hear Big Voice Guy every once in a while talk about ESET, which is our studio sponsor. And it's about time we show them a little bit of love here. So on San Diego Sports 760, we love ESET. Their North American headquarters are right here in San Diego. And, you know, if you're like me, you click on a weird link sometimes and your computer starts going haywire. ESET are the people who solve that.
Really?
Sammy clicks on a lot of weird links.
Yeah. Where links are you clicking on?
I mean, every once in a while you get emailed something weird. You get something a little fishy.
You open up random.
No, I don't, because ESET blocks them all, Sammy. So whether it's your business, your home setup, or if you're just protecting your fantasy football secrets, ESET is the way to go. North American headquarters right here in San Diego. ESET.com is where you check them out. And we thank ESET for being along for the ride here on San Diego Sports 760. Also huge supporters of the Aztecs. They're a big part of our Aztec football and basketball broadcasts as well. But we love ESET, so go ahead, give them a look. ESET.com is where you check it out. All right, Sammy, you said you have a banger of a lineup for us coming up today.
Actually, a very good Major League Baseball slate with some juicy plus money odds here, as well as we got the Stanley Cup. Then, of course, we got the NBA Finals tomorrow, and then we're going to be locked in our Golazo picks for the World Cup, which start on Thursday.
Golazo, are we sensing you're getting maybe a little hot on baseball picks?
Listen, I didn't want to be the one to say it.
You were 2 for 2 last night.
I was 2 for 2 last night. Again, Jalen Brunson sold us late in that game with the 3, but baseball has been a little kind to us over the last couple of days.
Well, let's get to it. Go ahead, smash.
You looking for some luck? Want to win big? Gotta play big.
You are so money, you don't even know it.
Time to take a chance.
Say that to me and his man.
With long shots.
All right, where are we heading? Right into baseball. Now, I want to reiterate this before I make this pick. Don't bet with your heart. Bet with what you think is going to happen. The Dodgers are playing the Pirates today on the road. The value that we're getting on the Los Angeles Dodgers right now, minus 104, because Paul Skeens is on the mound against Eric Lauer. Let's remind, the Dodgers got blasted on Sunday by the Angels. Absolutely destroyed. Pathetic performance in the Dodgers out of the bullpen late in that game after they demolished the Angels on Saturday, and then on Sunday they got blown out. Off day yesterday. Rushing had a 4-hit day on Sunday. The Dodgers are starting to heat up here, and Paul Skeens is fantastic. Ohtani has taken him deep in his career. Andy Pages is 4 for 6 against Paul Skeens actually in his career. So faced him 6 times, 4 for 6 against a pitcher of his caliber. Very impressive. Eric Lauer has just come over in a trade to the Los Angeles Dodgers from the Toronto Blue Jays, and has been pretty serviceable.
Eric Lauer, former Padre.
Yeah, former Padre. Has been pretty serviceable.
Part of the epic 3Ls, Lucchesi, Lauer, and Lamet.
Yeah,
I remember those guys.
They but been pretty serviceable for the Dodgers. So I think the value we're getting here today, Dodgers coming off a brutal performance on Sunday. The Dodgers bats have been much better. Mookie Betts' his home run power has started to come back to him after being injured a little bit. I like the Dodgers in the money line here. I think the fact that they're underdogs in this game, I think you cannot pass that up. So
against Skeens?
Yep. I just laid out why. Were you not listening to anything I just said?
Not really.
Andy Pages, 4 for 6 against Paul Skeens. Shohei Ohtani has taken him deep in his career. By the way, first time Paul Skeens ever faced the Dodgers, he mowed down that lineup. All these guys are back. There's going to be some revenge in this game. The value that we're getting, too much.
Are we trusting Dodgers on long shots right now?
We're trying to make money.
Okay.
We're trying to make money. I listen, bet with what you think. All right, now, I don't know if people saw this game last night. The Brewers and the A's. It went to the 12th inning, is in Vegas. They're doing like a little series out there. And it was 14-13 in the 12th inning that the Brewers won that game.
Now, yeah, I saw a home run went like 900 feet last night because Vegas is just a tinderbox.
Yeah. By the way, when that stadium is built out there, it's going to be electric.
It is going to be cool.
You know, all the opposing fans are going to be coming in for these games. I mean,
I hate what it's doing to Oakland, but it is going to be cool.
Yes. No, it's BS. It came at the expense of them, but that will be good. All right. But this game, so the over tonight, Robert Gasser, left-handed pitcher, going against JT Ginn, who's actually been a solid starter for the A's so far this year, only a 2.74 ERA, has struck out 60. Gasser, there's not much on him. He's only 0-2 in his career, 12 hits given up this year and 12 Ks. Now, the over-under for this game was set at 11.5 because of last night. Now, the public money is influencing this. It has been bet all the way up to 13. Now, I understand the thinking behind this in that both teams use 7 pitchers. Uribe came in for the Brewers, Ashby, like all their big guns, and that they're going to be a little gassed out, so they're going to go. 13, way too high of a number. Way too high. This is so much of an overcorrection that Vegas is going to clean up tonight with people betting the over. Give us the under in A's Brewers. It's going to be some pride from these pitching staffs after what happened yesterday. Under 13 runs. 13 runs. Can't believe we're getting that number. Under 13 runs in the Brewers and the A's. All right, let's head to the NHL. Stanley Cup Finals. Hurricanes, Golden Knights. It's a pick 'em now in Vegas. Carolina's got a slight edge at -115. This has been such a great series so far. Like in that game 3, you had Vegas completely, utterly dominating, up 4-0, and then the Hurricanes come all the way back, score 4 goals in that third period, and they lose in double OT. I am rocking with the Carolina Hurricanes on the money line tonight. I do think that these two are extremely even teams. Frederik Andersen has been one of the best goalies so far in the playoffs and just in the NHL all season long for Carolina. There's been some thoughts of does he get benched if he has another rough performance. I think they kind of screw the nails in a little bit. The Carolina has always responded. Their game 2 and game 3 losses have both been game 1 and game 3 losses have both been very tight. The Vegas offense is lethal with Jack Eichel and Mitch Marner, and they're just playing very free. But I think Carolina is too good to not send this back 2-2 to Carolina. So I like Carolina on the money line tonight. We're getting that value at -115. All right, Dodgers -103. I like the money line there, being slight dogs against Paul Skeens and the Pirates. The under in Brewers and the A's after that crazy game last night, 13 runs, way too much for us to lay. Give us the under there. And I think Carolina responds with probably their season on the brink tonight. Because if they go down 3-1, probably not coming back to win this thing.
I like it. Did you already give the recap? I really wasn't listening. I'm sorry.
What are we doing over there?
I have the bet plays, but that was about it. It is San Diego Sports 760. Dave Chappelle tickets are on the line here today. If you want to win them, you got to leave us a talk back. We're asking you something very, very simple. How many home runs is Fernando Tatis Jr. going to hit this year? He's at 1 so far. Can he get up to 9? What did the first guy say? Marty and his son?
Said 6 to 8, I think.
I think it was 6, yeah. So what is the number of home runs Tatis is going to hit? Open up the free iHeartRadio app. Let us know. You could win a pair of tickets to go see Dave Chappelle out at Viejas Arena coming up on June 21st. Congratulations to whoever wins.
I want to go to that show.
I know. I was able to get floor seats last time him and Chris Rock were here. That was unreal.
Yeah, because of your uncle, right?
Yeah, he set up the stage design. And he was like, "Hey, I'm not using these. Do you want them?" And I said, "Who's coming? Dave Chappelle?
Where's Unc at?
I don't know if he's doing this one. I'll have to text him and ask him."
You haven't texted him.
I know. I'm sorry, Sam. It's busy time. All right, it's San Diego Sports 760, Hour 2, and Kevin Acey is coming up on the other side. We'll get into these Padres with Kev coming up. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
This was sponsored by rockauto.com. Padres back tonight, 6:40, getting the win yesterday, 6-2 over the Cincinnati Reds. Lucas Giolito will be on the mound for the Padres. And we got the NHL Stanley Cup Finals, Game 4 tonight in Las Vegas. That game will be at 5 o'clock. It is currently a pick'em on the money line with a slight lean at -115 to the Carolina Hurricanes. The point total, goal total in the game is set at 5.5. A bent tie rod can quickly bring a drive to a halt. For the parts you need to get back on the road, visit rockauto.com. Find a wide selection of quality parts at reliably low prices, deliver right to your door. All the parts your car will ever need. Rock Auto.
We will start from the beginning.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long.
That looks a little better.
Taylor lines it in left field for a base hit. Here comes Bogarts, and behind him comes Bowen. 2 runs in, 5-2 San Diego.
Padres take Game 1 of the series versus the Reds with Game 2 tonight, and the Spurs crash the Big Apple party. Plus,
I want winners.
So we like the Yankees on the money line on the road.
Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Like the Phillies on the road as well.
Listen, you was really, really something incredible.
And then I like the under 216.5 in the NBA Finals tonight.
Spurs are headed home with a W, 115-111 over the New York Knicks.
I can do anything because I'm a winner.
let's head to the San Diego Sports 760 studios to get in the zone with Fletch and Sammy.
Yeah, it's hour number 2 here on San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock. Sammy will keep it rolling after that. Schaefer and Sliwa will be your drive home from 3 to 6 tonight. We do have a talkback question going for Dave Chappelle tickets if you want to weigh in. How many home runs will Fernando Tatis Jr. have by end of year? Go to the free iHeartRadio app, search San Diego Sports 760, tap the little red microphone icon in the upper right-hand corner. Leave us a talkback. You're in the running to win a pair of tickets to go see Dave Chappelle out at Viejas Arena on June 21st. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. All right, last night, NBA, Knicks, Spurs, Game 3. Spurs get the win. Did everyone happen to catch what happened at halftime last night between the Knicks and the Spurs? Sammy, I think I sent you this, didn't I?
Yeah.
So Cardi B was performing. By all accounts, she did an excellent job. But on the desk, it was Ernie, it was Chuck, it was Shaq. And Ernie said, we've been competing with Cardi B this entire halftime, if you're wondering why some of the noises have been going on. And Charles Barkley leans over and says, I don't think those are Cardi B's. They might be Cardi D's, which is one of the most legendary lines in live television history. Now, the unfortunate part of it was for the next 2 minutes, you couldn't hear a single word of NBA analytics from these guys because Shaq couldn't breathe. He was laughing so hard. Charles Barkley was wondering if he was going to get in trouble for it, and Ernie just couldn't believe it was said, which after, 15 years of working with Chuck and Shaq, you would think that Ernie couldn't be surprised anymore. But it turns out Charles Barkley still can steal the show at any given moment. God, those guys are funny, man. I'm glad that the NBA figured out a way to keep them around for everything.
That was so stupid when they were about to go off air. I'm like, they're the best sports show, bar none, regardless of sport.
It's like there's certain people you just gotta keep around, and I think Charles Barkley is certainly one of them. Shaquille O'Neal obviously is excellent as well, but Shaq's at his best when he almost can't breathe because he's laughing so hard because of whatever Charles Barkley has to say. Now, did you catch any of the Pat McAfee broadcast, Sammy?
No, I was watching the main one.
So McAfee had Tracy Morgan and Tina Fey at one point on the broadcast, and he was talking about, I think he called it riot adjacent, what's been happening on the streets of New York after some of these games. And it is crazy. Last night looked like things were about to go really, really bad in New York. But he asked Tracy Morgan about it, and Tracy Morgan had maybe the line of the night other than Charles Barkley. He said, I think the Statue of Liberty might get pregnant if the Knicks win the series.
Tracy Morgan, man, still getting it done.
Dude, something needs to be done about what's happening after the games. Did you see these videos out of New York
there's
last
like
night?
21 arrested. There's a lot of stuff.
I saw a wall of police officers guarding 2 people wearing Spurs jerseys, and they were still trying to get after the 2 people who were wearing Spurs jerseys. Like, this is a damn near a national security issue. What's going on in New York right now? I get it, man. Celebrate your team. But the first time they lose in 2 months and all of a sudden it's about to burn down all of New York City, wildness out in New York. But first finals since 70,
No, well, they won in the 70s. They went in 99.
They went in
the Spurs.
99, but I think this, and I saw the average ticket price to get in was $50 back in 99.
I love when they do those kind of like look back in history when they're like the last time they're in the finals or something, and it's like the number one movie, the number one song, all that kind of stuff was out. But Game 4 is so pivotal. I mean, obviously,
huge,
because if the Knicks lose Game 4. I think you look at the first two games and go, because the Spurs did have double-digit leads in both of those games, and go, okay, maybe they were fortunate at the end, and then the Spurs get home court advantage again. Whereas if the Knicks win Game 4, I think that's still going to be a tough task for the Spurs to come back down 3-1. But this is a great series. I'm kind of happy the Spurs got last night's game, so we really do have a series here.
What I love about it is every game has been good so far, and every game has had crazy intrigue. Like you've had comebacks from the Knicks. They came back last night. Like people forget the Spurs went up big early in that game, and then the Knicks just flipped it on its head right away. And then the second half was super back and forth. But they've been 3 excellent games so far, and I would imagine the rest of the games, however many there are, will also be excellent. All right, we'll get back to that game in a little bit. Kevin Acey at 1:30. It's time for the big 3. I love seeing all these talkbacks roll in. Again, if you want Dave Chappelle tickets, only way you can win them today is on the talkback mic on the free iHeartRadio app. Just tap that little red microphone icon while you're listening to 760, and you can win a pair of tickets to go see Dave Chappelle. Question we're asking you today: how many homers is Nando getting on the year?
He has one right now.
He has one so far. What's the number by the end of the season? We got a couple people calling he's going to hit a home run tonight.
Wow.
Man, that'd be nice to see.
If that happens.
Look, if Freddie Fermin can break out of a slump, can Fernando?
Well, right. I mean, it's Fernando. Yes.
The one home run he hit was a bomb. He still has physical power left.
Well, that's why it makes no sense, because you're like, to Fernando's credit, the last 3 weeks, he has been putting the ball in play. Has it always looked the prettiest? No, but he has been getting on base at a better clip. We kind of wonder, once he hit his first home run, would he go on a little bit of a streak here? Hasn't happened so far since he hit it against Washington, but he certainly obviously has all the tools to be able to be raking home runs.
Maybe he will get one tonight. Maybe. All right, Sammy, let's get to the big 3 of our number 2. Go ahead, smash.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big 3.
All right, text line. We haven't said it once today, but yes, Tom Brady's coconut juice is called Good Nut. All right. We laughed about it yesterday. It was a fun 10 minutes. We don't need to go back to it. I don't want any Cardi B jokes in there.
Cardi B.
I don't need anything about the Spurs.
Text line 70470. Start your message with team.
But yes, Tom Brady's new coconut drink is called
Good Nut.
Good Nut.
What if it was Bad Nut?
I wouldn't drink it.
What if it was underwhelming?
I'm definitely not drinking that. Never mind. Something premature. Whatever.
What if it's pre?
Dude, we talked about it on KGB this morning, and for the first probably 2.5 minutes we were talking about it, Cat Fisher was like, "Why would he call his company that? Like, what's the joke?"
Really had no idea.
She had no clue.
What if it's reliable nut?
Sammy, where are we going?
Oh, Tom Brady. Tom Brady, you bad boy. All right, Ilya Taporia.
Yes.
We got a UFC fight.
It might be raining.
Might be raining.
There's like a huge thunderstorm going to DC this weekend.
Yeah, so we're, the UFC Freedom 250. Ilya Taporia says, so they're the main event. Ilya Taporia taking on Justin Gaethje. Now, Ilya Taporia is over a 7-1 favorite in this fight for the main event. Now, Taporia said Justin Gaethje crossed the line. The build up to this fight has gotten extremely personal. Gaethje's talked about his wife. I mean, there's not a lot of love and respect between both fighters. How much of a shot are we giving Justin Gaethje in the main event on Sunday?
Not much. Ilya Taporia is a dog, man. He is tough, and he's super, super calculated. And I think what he doesn't get enough credit for, incredibly smart fighter. Like, he gets all the credit for being this machine, right? He doesn't get tired. He's a very tactical fighter who will kind of wear you down and then get you down at the end of it. But Ilya Taporia, very, very cerebral fighter, and you can hear it when he talks. And I think that he has that over pretty much everybody right now. You could tell sometimes he's almost forcing himself to be a jerk in press conferences because that's not who he is. If you listen to some of his longer form interviews when he's not getting ready for a fight, he's a very, very smart dude who is like studying business and is setting up his whole life after fighting. So I think that sometimes he's putting on a little bit of a show just to be that almost WWE figure that he doesn't need to do. Like, I get it. It helps sell the fight. I'm sure he and Gaethje are going to be best buddies at the end of this thing. They're going to be fist pumping and hugging and dapping each other up. It'll be good to go, but it's smart for them to try to sell the fight a little bit.
I think what's so impressive about Topuria is he was at featherweight knocking everybody out and then moved up in the power still carry. Like at featherweight, he knocked out Volk, which a lot of people had Volk winning that fight.
He was a huge dog.
He was a huge dog in that fight. And then Charles Oliveira, who is a tough fighter to knock out because he's such a great grappler. Now, this main event was handpicked because of the style of the fight. Gaethje's gonna walk him down. He's not scared of anybody. Gaethje's fought everyone. He's fought Max Holloway. He's fought every name. He's kind of always been a litmus test fighter for all the other elite guys because of how well you do against Gaethje. It's not even trying to be a shot to Justin Gaethje. He just kind of has one way. It's going to be exciting because neither guy is going to wrestle. Gaethje is going to come and try to knock him out, and it's going to allow Topuria some openings. Topuria's uppercut, he throws an uppercut like boxers. I mean, that thing is aggressive, and Gaethje certainly will leave himself open. I'm kind of surprised it's the main event because of how big of odds it is, but I think it really is tailor-made because this fight is all likelihood going to be a knockout either way. There's very little chance that this is going to a decision.
Tons of big names on the card this weekend, by the way. Like Sugar Sean's on this card. You got Derek Lewis on this card. Obviously, Alex Pereira. Tons of big names. I don't know that there's necessarily great fights.
Right. That's what's weird for the event.
It's like the UFC went against what it usually does, which is you don't always get the biggest names, but you always get the most competitive fights.
Because outside of Cyril Gane and Alex Pereira, which is a pick'em fight in Vegas, because Pereira's moving up and will the power carry. Most of these fights there's a significant dog in the fight. I think the UFC is trying to set up a star for the future. So some of these fights are a little bit of a showcase fight. Let me show Sugar Sean O'Malley. Let me show Ilia Topuria to be like, this is our guy in the UFC. So we'll see.
There's a lot of people in the actual like wrestling world who are saying this fight should not count on anyone's record because it's outside. It's so different from anything else they do. Like they said that.
Why would that matter though?
Didn't they have the fights in Abu Dhabi also where it was like weather is a factor? And so I think that because it's so unlike anything inside that they usually do, it's like playing a basketball game on the midway. Like we've seen how that works out.
It's funny because there's been so many boxing events outside over the years.
Yeah. I don't know why it's different. Maybe because positioning and kind of like the balance is, so if there's any sort of humidity on the actual layer or if it rains, for example, like that is a factor.
It's interesting. Certainly be something to watch on Fight Day. Sam Presti, Oklahoma City Thunder general manager. He did his end of year press conference the other day and was talking about SGA. And he said that SGA has to guard against the other 5 defenders on the court, as well as the 6th defender, which is social media. So was completely defending his guy SGA, talking about how he gets a bad rap. I mean, what were your reaction to Sam Presti's comments?
Soft. Come on, dude. Are we like, okay, because the foul merchant thing, is that what our feelings are getting hurt about? Is that what he's alleging here?
Yeah. No, he's saying that SGA is not respected for the great player that he is.
Look, SGA is fantastic. I think anybody who knows anything says that, but there is a thing about SGA's game that looks different. And I think when you contrast it to like what a guy like Jalen Brunson's been doing this postseason, it's kind of obvious. Like one of them is a basketball player who's doing whatever it takes to win. One of them is flopping a little bit. And we can call it what it is. LeBron James has flopped his whole career. James Harden has flopped his whole career.
LeBron is flopped?
LeBron's a flopper. LeBron is a flopper.
I got to defend LeBron. I have not always defended LeBron. LeBron is the one star that does not get calls.
I don't think he gets a great whistle, but I also think he flops a lot. Like, it's okay. A lot of people do it. It's a good strategy in basketball, and people win doing it. But if you're going to do it, you got to be ready for a lot of arrows coming your way, too. And so the fact that he's saying this, as if every player in the NBA doesn't get arrows slung at them on social media, as if every athlete in the world doesn't get arrows slung at them on social media. Jokic wins back-to-back MVPs. You know what everyone says? He's boring to watch. Like, it's going to happen when you're at the top. And right now, Sam Presti and OKC, they were at the top. They lost. I didn't see him complaining about any social media trolls when they won the championship.
Right. That's what frustrates me like SGA for being as good as he is does get killed. And it's surprising too, because he's not a talker that where people either love him or they hate him. He's not a Floyd Mayweather where people are like, you're either a Floyd Mayweather fan or you absolutely hate Floyd Mayweather. There's not really any in between. Shea seems like a chill dude who is just a very good basketball player. He's not the most exciting player in that Anthony Edwards is must watch. His dunks are through the roof. Victor Wembanyama, the way he has handles for being 7'4", Luka Doncic's offensive game is about second to none. Like, there are guys in this league that are must watch. I wouldn't say Shea is must watch. He's just a great player. My problem with Sam Presti's comments, I don't have a problem with him making the comments because, I get it. He's going to defend his guy. He's going to defend his team. Shea's got taken a lot of heat on social media and from big members of the media, including former players, for flopping. But I want to hear this now because the Thunder are finally getting criticism. It was just this Thunder love fest for years about how they're going to win each of the next 10 NBA finals. And this is a dynasty that can't be broken because of Sam Presti and how he drafts and develops talent. And yet they beat the Pacers. Halliburton goes down in that game 7. I give the Thunder credit for winning that game, but we'll never know what actually happened. And then you just got beat by the Spurs, and it's not like the Western Conference is getting any easier. So I don't hear Sam Presti crying today because they're finally getting some backlash for not coming through when they at home in a game 7.
Didn't Shea also issue a cease and desist to one of the betting apps?
No,
because of a meme.
They put what's that game Operation? It was funny. They put Shea the board game Operation
where you get buzzed if you hit
and
the
then
side.
it was flopping. So
I mean, dude, and a cease and desist letter for that? I'm sorry. OKC is a little bit soft.
And another thing, remember that Alex Caruso when they shoved the camera away in the huddle?
Yes.
It's it can't Oklahoma City. It's not all just, look at us.
It's TikTok dances with the wives when we win, but shoving the camera away when we lose?
And not talking to people.
Come on.
Oklahoma City is...
Yeah. It's like that dude on 18 who puts has a putt for birdie and he leaves it 2 feet short.
Exactly.
Hit it. All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. Quick break here. We're going to play a bunch of these talkbacks coming up on the other side. Plus, text line's asking if I went and saw Backrooms. I did see Backrooms. I'll have a little bit of a review for you coming up next. San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Every Team USA game will be broadcasted right here on San Diego Sports 760. And if you like pina coladas, head on out to Piazza de Familia this Friday, noon to 5:30. This show, Sammy's show, Schaefer and Sliwa, we will all be out at Piazza de Familia in Little Italy.
John Schaefer will be drinking hard kombucha
all day and all night. Getting ready for Team USA's first game. They got Paraguay at 6 o'clock. Our coverage will begin at 5:30. You'll hear every minute of the game right here on San Diego Sports 760. I'm getting excited, man. World Cup's
very
fun.
excited.
Can they channel some of the Four Nations face-off? Or I guess really the Four Nations face-off kind of channels some of the World Cup.
Well, you got to think in terms of, there's like a little other storyline besides trying to advance far, but all the host countries, Canada, America, and Mexico.
Some extra pressure.
You do not want to be the first out there.
Especially when the whole storyline about Team USA has been, they got a really good draw in the group stage. Imagine if they don't get out of it. That's a problem.
They have to, it's kind of hard, even the past weekend, they played Germany very well, 2-1. They lost 2-1. They lost the game, but we're sitting here kind of trying to find things to take away. And obviously they weren't really trying to win the game super hard because they're getting ready for the World Cup this week. But there's a lot of pressure on the development of soccer in America from this World Cup and the ascension of the sport and just on home soil. You don't want to go out there and embarrass yourself because the team has kind of been flailing over the last 2 weeks, though, against Senegal and in Germany. They certainly kind of put it together a little bit, though.
All right. Text line 619 says Tatis is going to finish with 12 to 15 home runs. Love the show. Send me to Dave Chappelle. Well, 619, you're going to have to use the talkback mic.
He's like, send me to Dave Chappelle.
You're going to have to go to the free iHeartRadio app, search San Diego Sports 760. While you're listening, tap the little red microphone icon, and you could say that exact same thing. Tatis, 12 to 15 home runs. Love the show. And you are then entered to win Dave Chappelle tickets. Sammy, do we have a couple of these we can play here? Some talkbacks from today.
Let's go to Edwin.
What's up, guys? Eddie from Paradise Hills. I think Tatis gets to 7, and I think he gets 1 tonight.
7 and 1 tonight. So you'd only have 5 more to go after tonight.
Damn, you should hit that on a betting app.
Yeah, should have added it to long shots. Tatis homer. You got another one?
This is Marcos.
This is Marcos from Carmel Valley, and Tatis is going to hit as many home runs as he needs to hit in order for me to get these tickets to Dave Chappelle. Let's go, baby.
It's you're trying to cheat the system there. Completely random. Whoever gets these Dave Chappelle tickets.
Ken, right here.
Fernando Tatis will hit 15 more homers and will finish the season with 16. The Padres will bounce back out of this slump.
I like the hope.
Go Padres.
I do. And it's
15.
possible. And if he gets to 16, where's that contract? I will sign it right this second. 16 home runs for Fernando. I would take that in an absolute heartbeat. I don't know if that's going to be the actual number. We got one more we could squeeze in before Kev jumps on the show here.
Yes, let's hit Robert.
Robert.
Hey guys, it's Robert from Chula Vista. On the total for Tatis home runs, I think he'll hit around 12 to 15. I don't think he'll do more than that. He's got a lot of catching up to do. All right, guys. Thanks. Bye.
A lot of work to do for sure. Again, one of these people is going to win a pair of tickets to go see Dave Chappelle, June 21st, VA House Arena.
We're getting them in. We got more talkbacks. We got a lot more coming up. It's going to be a random generator who gets these tickets.
I think the winner gets picked in about 12 minutes, which means you got about 12 minutes to get those talkbacks. Load them up. And you can do more than one. Just a little life hack there if you want to leave.
Look at Ben Fletcher
2 or 3.
To cheat the system.
Just saying. All right. 913. I'll do this really quickly. Says, Ben, did you watch Backrooms? Dish it out on what you think. I did see Backrooms in the theater this weekend. I think I really liked it. And if you've seen it already, you understand why the I think is in there. It's a very strange movie. It's very unique, which is why I like it a lot.
I'm a little scared to see it.
It's not scary. I did not ever once in that movie feel like actually scared.
So what, for people who have seen both Obsession and Backrooms, what is scarier? Because
see, I don't know. I didn't see Obsession. I kind of wish we would have seen Obsession. I would give Backrooms like a solid 7 out of 10.
For it being a college kid directing it.
I don't think Backrooms wasn't a college kid.
Yeah, I think it was.
No, that was the one that had like a $10 million budget. Obsession was the one that had like a $900,000 budget. Unless I'm wrong.
I think that's the other way around. I think Backrooms had no budget. Obsession had a decently sized budget.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm confused. But Backrooms I thought was good. Is it worth seeing in a theater? Yeah. Yeah, go support movie theaters because I really like movie theaters and I want them to stick
You
around.
see that? They're coming back.
They
movie
are.
theaters, the ticket sales are up.
And Spielberg has his movie coming out this weekend. Disclosure Day. It's supposed to be his best movie in the last 2 decades. I'm pumped for it. Can't wait. All right, Kevin AC coming up next on the other side live on the iHeartRadio app.
Sports sponsored by rockauto.com. Spurs won game 3 last night at the Garden, at Madison Square Garden. They'll be back tomorrow night for game 4. The Knicks are a 1.5 point favorite in that one. Padres back tonight. Game 2 against the Cincinnati Reds after the Padres took game 1. Chase Burns will be on the mound for Cincinnati, while Lucas Giolito will be going for San Diego. And we got Stanley Cup Finals game 4 tonight from Las Vegas. That game will be at 5 o'clock. It is currently a pick'em on the money line, with Vegas leading the series 2-1. A bent tie rod can quickly bring a drive to a halt. For the parts needed to get back on the road, Visit rockauto.com. Find a wide selection of quality parts at reliably low prices delivered right to your door. All the parts your car will ever need. Rock Auto.
The Padres Report with Kevin Acee is brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Hey, players, this is all yours. Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Kevin Acee is here, and you still have some time to get in those talkbacks to win a pair of tickets to go see Dave Chappelle at Viejas Arena on June 21st. We're going to pick our winner right after Kevin gets off the show with us. We're asking you, how many home runs does Tatis finish the season with? He's at 1 right now. I'd say the consensus number is around either 6 or 15, somewhere in there for Fernando Tatis Jr. But hit us up on the talkback, Mike. You may be winning tickets to go see Dave Chappelle. Kevin, hello.
How you doing?
We're doing fantastic over here, Kev. Padres get a win last night. Freddie Fermin is the hottest player in baseball right now. Who saw that one coming? But last night, interesting game, Kev, because it was they bunted the Reds to death, which is sort of fun.
It is. Remember when we hated bunts? And now it's like you'll take anything that gets the Padres a win. And how about moving a runner over? We've been saying that for a few weeks. I feel like, I hope other people have been saying it. And it worked out. And you force the other team to do stuff, and then it makes you feel good, and then you get some hits. And so, yeah, good for them.
Do you think we'll see, they try to do a little small ball over the weekend? Do you think we're going to start seeing this strategy, considering the offense has not been really good all year?
I do, absolutely. I think that was telecast when they brought up the two guys, Taylor and Bowen. They've been starting to run before that. None of it has worked out great until last night. And so, yes, I absolutely think that it's something they've been trying to incorporate here for a little while.
Kevin, over the weekend, Manny Machado had some comments that went a bit viral. I'm not sure if you were in that scrum, Kev, but I know I heard Togerson explaining some of the stats to Manny Machado, which I thought was very, very funny. But what did you take away from that? Manny and his conversation about analytics and how he thinks the baseball has too many of them. It just came off to me as a little bit of, well, yeah, when your batting average is the worst in Major League Baseball among qualified hitters, I'd probably say the same thing too. What was your reaction to Manny's little tirade?
That's Manny, and Manny playing to the mic and the cameras and just saying stuff. I mean, no one's that fit for WRC plus R. Honestly, it was entirely irrelevant. Yes, Manny is a see ball, hit ball guy. And thinks that there's too many nerds in baseball. But that whole thing was performative. That was nothing.
Kevin, the text line's asking, what do the Padres do for a permanent solution in left field now that Laureano is done for the year?
Well, if we're looking for a permanent one, one that you're excited about, legit excited, probably got to wait into July, past the All-Star game. There's just too many buyers or teams that think they might be buyers right now. Now, are the Padres shopping for a guy, just someone that could possibly help them out? Yeah, they are. Sure. I don't know any names right now, but that's the word that they're absolutely know that they need a left fielder / designated hitter / left-handed bat / someone who can freaking hit. So they are absolutely going to try to upgrade the offense. I just want to do asterisk disclaimer. It's all smoke unless Manny and or Merrill and or Tatis perform to the level they're supposed to.
It is crazy. Last night, you see this a little bit of an offensive explosion. Then you look back at the box score. Manny, Fernando, Merrill. Did they have a single hit between the three of them? I don't think they did. I think Ty France was the only guy in the top 4 who got a hit last night. All right, Kev.
How did the rally stop?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Top of the order.
Those are the guys that stopped the rallies. They're rally stoppers.
I think Manny Machado got a hold of Kevin's phone just now and maybe snapped it in half. But you're back, Kev. We're good. Xander Bogaerts going on paternity list, so it's going to be Will Wagner jumping up. Now, he is the son of Hall of Famer Billy Wagner. I have that right?
He is, yes.
That's kind of cool. What's the expectations for Will Wagner?
He came up and played a little bit last year. There's been absolutely nothing overwhelming, or I would say, and this is unfair to say for a guy who's had a cup of coffee, nothing impressive about him with the Padres. I would assume that you're going to see, you got Burns going tonight. I'm assuming you're going to see Sungmun Song in there playing shortstop. But, Will Wagner get his time, fill in space for whatever it is, 2 or 3 days while they're in town.
Every time I check ESPN and Major League Baseball section, there's a Tarek Skubal offer for about every team in Major League Baseball. The Padres had one that they said was pretty attractive, actually outside of the Dodgers, that involved Ethan Salas and Schoolcraft. How willing do you think they would be to part with Ethan Salas in the coming months?
Willing, but not overly willing. They would have to be in position to win. I can say this like authoritatively. Like they would have to have had a good month to want to invest in a rental like the Scooble. They would have to think like, this is it, man. This is the one. We are going to get, let's just say this. They're going to get Pavetta back, Musgrove back, like Scooble, like, wow. All right, we're hitting. People are firing all cylinders. We are challenging for a World Series. Like, yeah, that's got to be the case. AJ Preller's completely unafraid, but like that's a big if. And as far as any offers out right now, it's garbage. There's just not offers out right now for someone of Scooble's. Like it's not. There can be. I don't know if that was like I don't know because I haven't seen it. If that was like reported that there was a Padres offer, or if it was like a suggested offer. But like that's not the point we're at right now. Like trade talk right now is absolutely interesting, fascinating, and it's clickbait. Like there is not substantive talks for players of Scooble's caliber going on right now. There are, hey, here's some parameters. Oh, might you be interested in something like this? That's where we're at right now.
Kev, you look at the Padres and what they have coming up, the schedule gets really, really tricky. I mean, if you look 2-3 weeks ahead, it's the Dodgers, the Braves, the Dodgers, the Cubs are in the middle of there too. Like, what do you need to see out of this team over the next, week and a half when they're playing not necessarily the top end competition to believe that come trade time and we can have those conversations and we can talk about the Padres seriously as buyers and not as a team who may already be out of any race that is worth buying for?
There you go. It's got to be like doing what you did last night, what you should have done for, one more game against the Mets. Burns is tough, man. This guy, everyone says he's really good. But you got, and that doesn't mean you can't beat him by, scoring 3 runs, right? Like, don't let the Reds score more than 2. Like, that's what you got to do. But hey, if you don't, you got a guy, Brady Singer, tomorrow who's absolutely beatable. You win this series. Okay, great. And you go to Baltimore and you win that series. And where are we headed next? St. Louis. And hey, they're fine. They're in a little upstart, but you win that series. You have to take care of these games. And then you take care of what's in front of you as best you can against the good teams, because you're absolutely right. Like, not only is it a crucial time of the season, they've got a pretty darn good schedule coming up. Now, I will say, whoever they played recently, man, like this kid tonight, Burns, is like, they've had like 10 games in the last 2-3 weeks against some of the best starters in baseball. So, like, they have been playing these, decent teams, and they should have done better. But like, it's been a pretty good season so far in terms of like the competition they've had. But you're right about that coming up.
Sure. All right, Kev, I'll be honest. Last week, the text line after our little chat with you went a little crazy on what Kevin AC could have been eating because you wouldn't tell us what type of steak that you prefer to eat. So do you want to clear that up? Are you a New York guy, ribeye guy? Because a lot of people were saying giraffe, koala, human. Like it went a little crazy.
No. If you ever saw me, I am not adventurous enough to try anything outside of a traditional steak. I don't even remember what I had at that point. I think it was a sirloin. I honestly, I can't remember now what I had that night. I'm a big steak guy. Like, I'm a bigger steak guy than I should be. I should do a lot more chicken, but I love the red meat.
See, Kev, that was so easy. Last week, you were all so private and guarded about it, and it led the text line for literally 3 days after the fact, talking about Kevin AC, the giraffe eater. So that's where we're at with these things.
I got friends that are hunters or, whatever, and they like try to tell me, oh, yeah, no, that's how you prepare it. No, it's gamey. No, give me a steak.
Elk is damn good. All right, Kev, thank you.
Oh, all right. That's gross. See ya.
Have you ever had elk, Sammy?
I don't believe so.
God, it's so good. It's so good. My cousin is a big hunter, and so every time I go back to Merced, he'll have something ready for us. And he had elk one time with this homemade marinade that he makes, and it needs to be sauced up a little bit because it's kind of tough and gamey, but it is so freaking good.
I gotta say, when people are like, "Oh, snake tastes like chicken,"
I've never had snake. There
I'm
are
like,
some frog legs in the break room right now if you'd like.
That
some.
is, first off, okay. We had some people come in today at the station. There's a lot going on.
Well, it was the
today.
San Diego County Fair. It was Chicken Charlie's or whatever that place
Shout out
is.
to the fair, but our break room smells bad enough. These fools do not clean out the fridge. They leave food in here, and then we got frog legs sitting there. I know I'm not cleaning that up.
You don't want to make frog leg or
I'm
eat
not
frog
eating,
legs?
I'm sorry.
I'm
not eating frog legs.
I've taken a bite before, and it really isn't that bad. It kind of just tastes like the batter that it's wrapped in, but it is a little freaky thinking about what you're eating.
Yeah, like, I mean,
elk, on the other hand, damn good. All right, I'm putting a clock on it. We have exactly 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes from right now to get your talkbacks in. If you don't get them in within the next 2 minutes, you are not winning Dave Chappelle tickets.
We have so many talkbacks coming
There's
in.
There's a million of them, but this is so at 1:46, I'm shutting down the talkback mic. So if between now and then you get a talkback in telling us how many home runs Fernando Tatis Jr. will have by the end of the year, you have a chance to win Dave Chappelle tickets. If it's after 2 minutes from right now, you'll have to wait for tomorrow. All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app.
Yo, this is Brendan out in Santee. I think Tatis is going to finish with an even 10 homers. And by the way, Half Baked is the best movie ever.
We're going to see Dave Chappelle out of Viejas Arena on June 21st. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Get yours before they're gone. This will sell out. Congratulations, Brendan. Thank you for listening. Appreciate you, man. And hit that little plus button while you're on the free iHeartRadio app. Help us out a little bit with the bosses. But thank you for everybody who left to talk back today. There was a ton of you. Schaefer and Sliwa will have more opportunities coming up from 3 to 6. We'll have another pair coming up tomorrow starting at noon. We should have these tickets every day this week. Hey, if you missed it earlier today, we announced that Friday we are going to be out in Little Italy, Piazza de Familia. We're going to be hanging out there, eating some Italian food, taking in the scenes as we get ready for Team USA's first matchup of the World Cup. They're playing against Paraguay on Friday night, 6 o'clock. You're going to hear that game here on 760. Pregame coverage beginning at 5:30. So I'm going out there. Sammy's going out there. John, Allen, the whole crew here at 760 is going to be broadcasting live down in that big plaza, the Piazza de Familia in Little Italy. Cannot wait to go check it out and get ready for the World Cup with all of you. We're looking forward to it, man. There's going to be tons of watch parties all throughout Little Italy. We'll be at some of them. And so if you want to swing on by, we will have an extra microphone. So if any of you maniacs who listen from noon to 2 every single day want to swing on by, jump on air, we would love to have you. And Sammy is going to have the locks of a century when it comes to soccer picks.
I'm already tapped in, dude.
Text line's pissed at you, Sammy.
What did I do?
Pick the Dodgers for long shots. There was a lot of people calling for me to veto it. Rich on YouTube said, F the Dodgers. Look, I don't feel great about it, but I am going to have faith in Sammy.
Listen, here's the thing. You don't bet with what you want to have. If you bet with what you want to have happen, you will be a loser in gambling.
I do that all the time. That's why I've Brock Purdy.
That's why I make him money and he's betting on Brock Purdy to win Super Bowl MVP. And we know that's just a fool's gold.
Regular season MVP. I just have the Niners winning the Super Bowl.
Listen, if you don't like it, don't bet it. I'm just telling you, we don't get value like this with the Dodgers. Rarely are the Dodgers in a pick 'em slightly underdog situation. Coming off a rough performance on Sunday against the Angels. Off day yesterday.
Playing against Paul Skeens.
Yeah, but it's the Dodgers lineup. Andy Pa has had 4 hits off him his entire career. Shohei Ohtani's already taken him deep. Listen, don't bet it. You can clown me tomorrow if it doesn't happen. The value here is where we're looking at. We're looking at value with long shots.
Part of me actually wants the Dodgers to lose tonight just so we could all be right about this, but I do think it's a solid bet that Sammy has placed for us. So we'll see if it works out.
See, Vegas is counting on you going, oh, Paul Skeens. Oh, I'm going to hammer the Pirates. That's what they want. They want you to hit that.
You think Livy's at the game tonight? Is it in LA or is it in Pittsburgh?
It's in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Less glamorous.
Yeah. But Livy will still probably be there.
Livy will be there, I bet.
Cheering on her mans. Cheering on her mans.
Cheering on her mans. But you see, by the way, how Travis Kelce with Taylor Swift, and now every celebrity and athlete has a celebrity girlfriend now.
There's news on this, by the way. The Travis Kelce Taylor Swift thing. I don't know if you saw this. So Brooks Koepka, did you watch the Full Swing documentary on Netflix?
Yeah, not every season, but yeah.
So did you see Brooks Koepka's episode?
I believe so.
So his wife in that episode came off the worst. Like, people genuinely could not stand her for good reason. Her name is Jenna Sims, and I've seen other things with her, and honestly, she's fine.
Why did they not like her?
Because in that episode, she was super, super controlling and like almost downright mean to Brooks. Like, it was just weird. Their relationship
the Brooks
seemed weird.
Koepka fan club led by Ben Fletcher was not
It
happy.
wasn't just me. I promise you, the whole internet was with me on this one. However, she has come out publicly and said she has a hall pass and it's Travis Kelce.
Wow.
Are you trying to start beef with Tay-Tay? Because Sammy will put you down.
First off, Travis is not worried about anything.
He's got a billionaire girlfriend.
You think he's going to have the Swifties coming after him? Please. They're madly in love.
Madly in
love.
I saw they may do a wedding at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
What in the world are we talking about?
It's for
a 40,000 seat
reasons.
wedding?
No,
Sure.
it's not 40,000 seats. It's so they can secure it. If they're outside, Taylor Swift's going to have helicopters going around left and right. It's not going to work.
So they're doing it inside of Madison Square Garden? I don't know.
Security.
How about a bank somewhere?
A bank?
Might be romantic.
What, at a Chase Bank? Hey, open a 401k and by the way, you're also married. What are you talking about?
All right, before we get out of here today, I would like to thank our very incredible sponsors, Valley View Casino and Hotel. We love you. Get on out there. I told you all about all the different restaurants today. $200 when you sign up for the Players Club. How about ESET? Can we give a quick round of applause for ESET?
And ESET, Valley View, and Good Nut, Tom Brady. coconut water.
The newest sponsor of the
newest
show.
sponsor of San Diego Sports 760. Good night with Tom Brady.
All right. We appreciate you all. Sammy, what you got coming up today?
I got Brock Heward from Brock and Salk in
Hey!
Seattle. College football analyst jumping on with me at 2:30.
Brock's fantastic.
Brock's the best, man. Getting a little Padres, getting a little World Cup, as well as maybe some Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson drama.
Who's first to leave their team? That's the story of next offseason, by the way. But we'll continue to talk about it as it comes. All right, that's it for me today. Sammy's coming up next. Schaefer and Sliwa in the afternoon, and there's more Dave Chappelle tickets to be won on this station. So don't you move that radio dial. Don't even think about it for a second. It's San Diego Sports 760. I'll see you tomorrow.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. The Padres and Reds are getting set for game 2 of their series down in Petco Park tonight. It's going to be Chase Burns and Lucas Giolito going for the Padres. First pitch is at 6:40. In NFL news, the Bengals have restructured Joe Burrow's contract by adjusting the deal. The team will gain $10 million in cap space for the upcoming season. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate for first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Going long with Sammy.
That's going to be hot.
In depth on the story of the day. Plus, it's warm in the hot seat. Now, it's Sammy Long.
Padres going to win last night. How about that? 6-2. Play a little small ball late in that game. We'll get to that here in a second. Very excited. I got big guests joining me today. 2:30, Brock Heward from Brock and Salk in Seattle Sports up there. Longtime radio show, 6 to 10, was a college football analyst, star quarterback at the University of Washington for years, and backed up Peyton Manning. So he jumped on, recorded with him earlier, play that back. Coming up at 2:30, Brock Heward kind of discussing everything of the Myles Garrett deal from a Seattle Seahawks perspective, a little inside look at the NFC West, as well as what he thinks about the college football playoff and whether it should go to a 2014 playoff. So excited to get to play that back. Coming up at 2:30 in about 15 minutes. Could we see Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow on the move? Joe Burrow's contract just got restructured today. We're going to get into some spicy comments from Louis Riddick, and coming up in a few minutes, we're going to get to Landon Donovan ahead of the World Cup kind of had some interesting thoughts on American soccer and what this World Cup will mean. But the Padres, let's they got a win last night. I give them a lot of credit. Was it a exciting win? No. They played small ball. They got around the base pass, but I give them credit. I mean, they just needed to win a game. They needed to stop the bleeding. The series against the Mets over the weekend we got into yesterday was not good, and they responded. We got some rough news over the weekend with Ramon Laureano being out for the season, and the team really felt like it was at a low point. Now, they got to actually win the series. The Cincinnati Reds are in the playoff hunt. What it's kind of been the Reds thing all year. Like, Abbott was tremendous against the Padres starters, and then the bullpen for the Reds is ranked 29th, 30th in most categories, and the Padres were able to get to them. I give Stammen and the offense a little credit for going to small ball. I mean, we spent all last year like, oh, please no more small ball for Mike Schilt. I mean, that was the narrative. All Mike Schilt wanted to do was play small ball, bunting, kind of getting runners in scoring position. But with the way the offense has been this year, I give Stammen some credit for just trying something, because the offense has not been good. We've talked about that a lot. And they haven't broke out of it. It's been more than just a slump of, hey, they're not hitting for a week or 2 weeks or something like that. So you got to do what you got to do. And you saw the dam kind of break last night for the Cincinnati Reds because they kept leaning on them. Now, Fernando Tatis came up with bases loaded. Manny Machado with a shot to really end that game. They didn't end up hurting them because they were able to kind of, again, play small ball and get around the base pass with those 3 straight bunts. But This is an interesting game. Chase Burns is a very talented pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds. Has had a really good season so far. And the underlying part about last night is the Padres still are not hitting starting pitching. And kind of a theme that we've seen a lot this year is when the Padres have stepped up in competition and you face the Dodgers. Now, they didn't have Edwin Diaz, but still very good bullpen, very good closers. Kyle Hurt, Alex Vesia has been taking that throne. Uribe with the Brewers, who they did get to in that game too, when Gavin Sheets hit a 3-run shot off of him. But when you stepped up and face elite closers, Johan Duran from the Phillies, it hasn't always worked out because the Padres have relied on getting after teams' bullpens so frequently. Now, a team like the Reds, who is an okay team fighting for playoff positioning, have a good starting pitching staff, missing Ellie De La Cruz, one of their best players right now. You can kind of wait them out until the starter's out of the game and try to chase their bullpen. And it's worked against the lesser teams. Against the upper tier teams, that's just not gonna happen. And this is another opportunity against, again, Chase Burns, who's a very talented player, an ERA hanging right around 2, to get to some starting pitching. Because it can't just be that the team gets to the bullpen every game and are relying on these late inning heroics. That works against the Rockies. That doesn't work against the Dodgers. So win this series, make a statement tonight against Chase Burns. hopefully they can get after them. And we're talking about a series win for the San Diego Padres. All right. World Cup. We're the home of all the U.S. matches starting on Friday. We're going to be down in Little Italy. So come join us. Fletch and I will be down there. I'll be down there and Sliwa and Schaefer. So if you're driving around, want to get a beer and watch the U.S. game, come on down to Little Italy on Friday at the Piazza. Landon Donovan was on Rich Eisen, and he was talking about what needs to change for this U.S. team. And he referenced that the U.S. has not won a knockout game since 2002, and kind of the development of what this World Cup means for U.S. soccer in the future. This is what Landon Donovan had to say on Rich Eisen.
What do you think of the current state of affairs?
We're going to find out a lot this summer, but I was just talking to someone. I mean, that 2002, it's funny you bring up that memory. That's the furthest the men have ever been.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think that we would have gotten further. In the men's side, we have won one knockout game, meaning get out of your group, knockout game in our history. And that was against Mexico in 2002.
Round of 16.
How we haven't done that since, that really hit me when they said that. That's pretty alarming. We're not developing players like the rest of the world do.
Why is that? Colleges and college athletics and universities are the feeder system for most Olympic sports. Right. And that's one of the concerns you have in the world of NIL and people moving around and portals and what have you.
In soccer, it's different because that age group is actually where we do lose a lot of players. They go into from 17, 18, 19, 20.
Right.
Our college system isn't competitive enough to feed into professional soccer. So basically, if you're 16, 17, you haven't made it. You're not on an MLS roster or a first team roster.
So Landon Donovan kind of talking about the disparity in talent between the U.S. and you wonder where the U.S. would be if, like, we'll be frank. Obviously, soccer is not the most popular sport in America. It's not, football is certainly more popular than it. NBA or basketball, baseball. You could argue hockey. You get into a lot of different stuff. It is not the premier sport. Overseas, while you're seeing it's the world's biggest game. In England, if you're small enough, you're going to be a soccer player. If you're too big, you're going to box. There's really only two options if you want to get into sports. But this is such a massive World Cup in terms of what it means for the U.S. going forward, because this was kind of the World Cup that everyone had circled for America, in that America in the last World Cup in 2022 was really young. They got out of the group stage. They did not score very much. And they got beat by the Netherlands. Now, they got beat by the Netherlands 3-1 in that first knockout round game. I give the U.S. some credit. They fought in that game. Pulisic missed a chance 6 minutes into the game that kind of would have flipped it. In the group stage of that tournament, they did draw against England, which was kind of a win for the U.S. because everyone was predicting that England would mop the floor with America. I remember when the group stages got announced, there were newspapers all over England saying Yankee Doodle, like, celebrating that they got America in the bracket. In America held their own, and everyone had this World Cup circled because the long running thing with America is over the years, those Landon Donovan teams, those Clint Dempsey teams, back to 1994 with Alexi Lawless, it was all about toughness. America was never as skilled as ever. We're not as skilled as Spain or France or England or Argentina or one of these countries where soccer is the number one sport. But it's been about like toughness and playing a tough style of soccer that has gotten America places. I mean, 1994, they went on a run. 2002, Landon Donovan mentioned it, beat Mexico in a knockout round. That's the last time they won a knockout round game. And this is where it's a real tipping point for soccer, because the U.S. are like a college football team that doesn't score. It's like they're decent. U.S. just has the 14th best odds to win the whole thing. Not that anyone's picking America to win the World Cup, but the U.S. has held their own in some regard. But they're not what you would call exciting in terms of they don't have a Lamine Yamal from Spain or a Kylian Mbappe from France or a Messi from Argentina or Ronaldo from Portugal who's scoring goals left and right. They have to play a very defensive style and create opportunities. But this World Cup, everyone's looked at as, could they possibly break through in some regard? You got Pochettino, who was coming over from the Premier League, had success at Chelsea and I believe Tottenham. I'm not in touch with all my Premier League soccer, but he's certainly was a big hire after Greg Berhalter got kind of kicked to the side of the road against when he was the manager before Pochettino. And you finally have a star in Christian Pulisic, who is a legit star overseas, and you point to. And the problem talking to a lot of, kind of soccer people over the years, Darren, Adrian, and just watching the U.S. team, Christian Pulisic was never really a striker. He's really more of a winger, and that's where he's best to be played. But over the years, especially his time with the U.S. team, he's had to play striker because the U.S. men's national team has really not had any other options. Well, now you got Balogun. Valerian Balogun is a guy who could have played for England, chose to play for the U.S. He is a traditional striker that finally gives America another scoring option while there's so much excitement heading into this World Cup. You got Gio Reyna. If we all remember the controversy in 2022 when he was the Reyna family was tight with the Berhalter family, who Sebastian Berhalter plays on the team. Greg Berhalter was the manager at the time. Berhalter sat Reyna on the bench, and then Reyna's parents went to the U.S. Federation and tried to get Greg Berhalter fired and kind of succeeded. It's a whole drama. You can look it up. Gio Reyna in Greg Berhalter if you're not familiar with it. But Gio Reyna is the guy that people kind of pencil in as another up and coming star for the U.S. So when we look at this World Cup in a group that, Paraguay, Turkey, a lot of people think is tough to get out of, the minimum has to be that you get out of the group. That has to be a bare minimum. And I think you have to win a knockout round game. I think if they get there, get out of the group, win a knockout round game, and are at least competitive in these matches, people will look at this as you are respectable on home soil. If the U.S. and probably will grow soccer in terms of people, interest in the sport in America, where it's never going to be football. It's never going to be basketball. It's never going to be baseball. But there is something in America where soccer is obviously a really popular sport. We see it here in SDFC. SDFC is just coming to the city and it feels like they're selling out every other game, and the city's really behind it. But it's a pivotal tournament in that if the U.S. go on a little bit of a run, I think it will change the way we all view soccer in America, because this was the World Cup that they were supposed to finally break through. They always had penciled in that Pulisic and Chris Richards and Tyler Adams and a lot of this young core that the U.S. soccer fans have been praising for years, finally we're old enough to break through. We'll see if it happens. We got full coverage of the World Cup, every U.S. game starting on Friday. All right, coming up next, Louis Riddick, ESPN analyst. Joe Burrow got his contract restructured today. Louis Riddick hinted that possibly this could be Lamar Jackson's final season with the Baltimore Ravens. Joe Burrow, there's also been some rumblings of him possibly on the move. We're going to get to that coming up on the other side. Going long, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. America's turning 250, and San Diego Sports 760 is celebrating with $250,000 in cash. Listen for your chance to win $2,500. You can take the ultimate American getaway and visit the state, cities, landmarks, and national parks that make our country amazing. Win your share of $250,000. Just listen for the keyword that enter it at sportssd.com. Your next chance to win is coming up after 5 p.m. on San Diego Sports 760. Brandon and I were talking about during the break. The whole Mike Brown, where they got jibed by the refs, I didn't see that last night with the Knicks. I really did not. Look, they shot 24 free throws in the second half. The Knicks shot 6, I believe. But overall, the Knicks only shot 10 fewer free throws than the Spurs. Like what I saw in that game watching it was the Knicks, who are usually trying to go inside and score, avoiding Wemby. They were avoiding Victor Wembanyama. They didn't want to come in the paint against Victor Wembanyama, so they're settling for outside shots. Way too much dribbling from Jalen Brunson. And look, I get it's heated. It's game 3 of the NBA Finals. Wemby shoves Brunson, and you got that whole narrative. But Karl-Anthony Towns had 0 points and 1 assist in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's not that, like, Mike Brown, the reason you lost is not because of officiating, especially when you're playing at home. Like, I don't want to hear that when you're the home team with a raucous environment. We got ourselves a series now. Wemby really showed up, was the best player on the floor in that game. I'm not sounding the panic bells alarms yet if you're New York, but it felt like the Knicks went back to playing a lot of iso ball basketball. I also think Mikal Bridges getting those 2 fouls early in that game really kind of contributed to him not being really in the game that much, not able to get into a flow because he really couldn't play significant minutes until the end of the third and the beginning of the fourth quarter, considering those fouls. So we got ourselves a series. Excited to see the Spurs take game 3, but I didn't agree with Mike Brown in regards to that. They got screwed by officiating. That's just me personally. Hit the text line 70470. Start your message with team 619. Sammy, what's the Vegas action on the over under on the San Diego Bunters? I got heavy money on the over. Well, the spread of the game, I believe the point total of the game is 7.5. You've come to the right place if you want gambling over unders, but listen, the stats would not tell you to take the San Diego Padres over tonight against Chase Burns, but Vegas usually counts on people betting with kind of their hearts and what they've seen recently. So hopefully the Padres can get it going in terms of offensively. All right, Louis Riddick. The AFC North is kind of in a transitional period because the Browns searching for their franchise quarterback. The Steelers are running back one more year with Aaron Rodgers. And then we got Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, 2 quarterbacks who have both been trying to break through and kind of get over that hump. Joe Burrow, we know, has gone to the Super Bowl and lost to the LA Rams, but in Lamar Jackson has not been able to reach that pinnacle yet. This is Louis Riddick from ESPN talking about whether Lamar Jackson could possibly be on his way out after next year.
No, it's not out of the question for a number of different reasons. Look, the Ravens are up against the cap here in the future, especially when you're talking about the 27 cap. They're 20 million plus over the cap right now projected. Lamar's cap number from this year to next goes from like 34 to 84. They need to get that down. They need to get a long-term extension in place, which obviously for Lamar, he's saying, hey, look, you know what? I'm all about long-term extensions. I want a lot of money. And he's going to want a big number. But it takes 2 to tango, right? And you hear what Shefty's just saying right now. Lamar does his own contracts, right? So he is on his timeline right now. So look, there's always the possibility that Steve Bisciotti says, hey, look, this isn't working. This isn't moving the way in which I want it to move. His dead cap number comes down for 27. It's much more palatable. Is it possible that they could deal Lamar Jackson? Of course it's possible. This is business. This is big business. And
so it's interesting that we're reaching the point with this group of guys. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow. Now, obviously Josh Allen is not going anywhere. And these are elite level quarterbacks. These I think universally people would say are the top 3 of the top 4 quarterbacks in today's game. You obviously got Patrick Mahomes who have the hardware, but they've been in this Jordan era of the NFL where had these guys been playing at a different time where Patrick Mahomes wasn't dominating, would they have the hardware? Would they have the rings and the kind of championship Super Bowl appearances and rings, stuff like that. But you're kind of wondering when it gets to the AFC North, are we going to go through a transitional period? Because how many more years is Joe Burrow, who also restructured his cap today to get under it for the Dexter Lawrence deal? And they acquired Dexter Lawrence from the New York Giants, the star defensive tackle, so they could get under the cap. Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson have made a lot of sacrifice for those franchises because both players, now Joe Burrow has had more success. Joe Burrow has gone to the Super Bowl, beat Mahomes in Arrowhead in the AFC title game. You could argue that he has gotten his way, especially when it comes to offense. He got Jamar Chase re-signed. He got T. Higgins re-signed. Probably wasn't the smartest thing for the franchise to be paying 2 top-end receivers, but those are his guys. Joe Burrow got it done. On the flip side, the Bengals have never been able to put a defense around him. Historically, he has had one of the worst defenses each of the last few years in the NFL. And you wonder, like, is Joe Burrow at some point going to be like, I need to get out of Cincinnati. I can't win here with this franchise who refuses to spend money. With Lamar Jackson, for all the grief people want to give Lamar Jackson about not winning in the postseason, you could argue that he has had the worst supporting cast of Patrick Mahomes, of Josh Allen, and of Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has T against Jamar Chase. Josh Allen, over the iteration of the years, had James Cook in the backfield. Stephon Diggs was there. Dalton Kincaid. He's had a lot of talent come through Buffalo. Mahomes has done it. Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins. They trade Tyreek Hill. He's had Travis Kelce. Did it kind of with the aggregate group of receivers when they went back to back against the Niners and the Eagles. But Lamar Jackson hasn't really had a number one receiver. Rashad Bateman, an older DeAndre Hopkins. He hasn't really had a go-to guy. Zay Flowers is supposed to be that guy. Hasn't really panned out that way. And with the draft class next year, and the NFL is such an interesting spot because with the young quarterbacks that kind of broke out last year, your Bo Nixes, your Drake Mays, your Caleb Williams, your Jane Daniels, there's kind of a new wave coming in the NFL. And your Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, and Burrow are all kind of veterans. They're still young. They still have a huge career in front of them, all of them, but they're on the younger side. In next year's draft class, again, we don't know if any of these guys are going to pan out, but you got Arch Manning out of Texas. You got Dante Moore out of Oregon, Jaden Maava out of SC, Julian Sand from Ohio State, CJ Carr from Notre Dame. There could be 7 first-round draft picks from the quarterback position next year. So at what point, like we see this in the NBA a lot where guys are like, I can't win here. I got to get out of here. I got to go somewhere else where they're going to put a better team around me. At what point does Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson get to that? Because if it doesn't work with Lamar here and Jesse Minter's the head coach, if you're the Ravens, you're like, is Lamar's body going to hold up? He runs a lot over the years. He's had a couple injuries the last few seasons. But Lamar or Burrow, who becomes the more attractive candidate? Both are like, I want to get out of here. Like you would think Joe Burrow, in regards to Joe Burrow's peak, is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. But then again, Joe Burrow can't stay healthy. This feels like a few years now. It's a long time since they went to that Super Bowl against the Rams. It's been 5 years. And he has consistently not been healthy each season. He wasn't healthy all the time in college. Now, maybe that has to do with the Bengals not putting an offensive line around him, but I wonder how, like, Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson are going to have a gazillion suitors. But if you're the Ravens and the Bengals, at what point does the marriage not really work anymore in the AFC North? And at what point are these teams that don't have a quarterback, would you entertain a massive haul for either of your guys? Has it run its course? Hit us on the talkback, Mike. Who would you rather build a team around, Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson? We got tickets coming your way. Ziggy Marley tickets on the talkback. Mike, click the little red microphone on the iHeartRadio app, San Diego Sports 760 in the top right corner. Who would you rather build a team around, Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson? Send those in for a chance to win tickets to Ziggy Marley. Coming up next on the other side, Brock Heward joining me. Very excited to get to talk to him. Radio host Brock and Salk in Seattle, former college football analyst. That's on the other side. Going along, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by rockauto.com. The Padres and Reds are getting set for game 2 down at Petco Park. It's going to be Chase Burns going for Cincy and Lucas Giolito going for the Padres. First pitch is set for 6:40. In NFL news, the Bengals and Joe Burrow restructured his contract today. By adjusting the deal, the Bengals will gain $10 million in cap space for the upcoming season. A failed strut can turn any drive into a rough ride. When it comes time for repairs, Rock Auto makes finding the right part easy. Shop name brands at lower prices and have parts shipped directly to your door. All the parts your car will ever need. Rock Auto.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little heat getting warm around here.
Light the fires, Big Daddy.
Who's next in the hot seat?
Welcome back to Going Long, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. Very excited to get to be joined by my next guest, Brock Heward, with Brock and Sock up in Seattle, killing it per usual. Brock, what's up, man? How you doing?
Sammy Long, going long. Wow. Wow. This is both really cool and amazing and really humbling. It makes me feel really, really old. Because I remember Sammy Long running through the hallways years and years ago. And now you're hosting a show, man. So cool.
You had me working on my health because we ran the steps. There's these crazy set of steps outside the radio station in Seattle, and Brock kicked my ass, but made me focus on my health a little bit. So I want to thank you for that.
Yeah. Now, if we could only have gotten your dad to run those stairs instead of walk them really slowly.
Yes, exactly. Well, Brock, thank you so much for joining me today. I wanted to talk to you. You're obviously on Seattle, an institution up there with you and Salk with the Myles Garrett trade. So that came down last week. I mean, a massive shock in the NFL. How are you guys viewing the division up there? Because I know Seattle had a couple losses, Kenneth Walker, Clint Kubiak, Tariq Woolen. Does it still feel like the attitude up there is Seattle's to lose, or do you feel like the Rams are the favorite now?
Yeah, I kind of like the way it all set up. I don't love, and certainly Charles Cross and Abe Lucas, the two offensive tackles for the Seahawks, didn't love that move when it came across the wire because they're going to have to try to block that monster. But I personally kind of love it for the team because it puts, I think, Mike McDonald and Sam Darnold and Cooper Kupp and Leonard Williams and the wiring of this group of Seahawks in just the right spot to say, good, let LA have all the attention. Let them have all the exposure. Let them have all the hype and expectations that come with it. And we'll just do what we did a year ago. And that's go about our jobs and building our culture and playing at a high level and winning the division and having the playoffs go through Seattle. And Sammy, the 4 times that has happened in history, the last 20 years, guess what? All 4 times the Seahawks made it to the Super Bowl, 1, 2, and nearly 3 of those. So I don't think there was any real panic. I feel like the fan base is kind of in my boat of great. Go ahead and let the Rams have all the attention and just the hard wiring and the DNA of Mike McDonald's culture. And you'll feel it on Hard Knocks when that comes out in 6 or 7 weeks with the first episode. I think you'll feel that culture of one that we don't care about what anybody else does. We go about business and handling our business in-house.
That is such a great point because, right, everyone's talking about the Rams, the roster stack, but especially with Seattle and in regards to Sam Darnold, it feels like no matter what this guy does, whether he has 14 wins with the Vikings, wins the Super Bowl with Seattle, people give him respect, but not the respect of being an elite level quarterback. Like, where would you have him in a hierarchy? Because personally, I have Sam Darnold in my top 10, and he's done a lot more than a lot of big name quarterbacks. We say Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, certainly in terms of playoff success. Do you still feel like Sam Darnold has to prove something to people?
Well, Sam's never going to get the national narrative. It was like it was written. And once some of those things are written, it's almost impossible to rewrite and edit and change those things. So I think from a national level, I mean, he could win another Super Bowl and he won't be in Mike Sando's top tier, even with executives that Mike talks to put those lists together, and certainly not with fans. I've already seen, right, we're getting near list season. I've already seen a few of them, already been bothered by a few of them that don't even have him in the top 15 of the NFL. For me, I'm with you, Sammy. He's a top 10 guy. And it's not just because of all the wins and the production the last 2 years. To me, being up close to it, it's just the love that his teammates have for him. It is so hard for these franchise guys to not become weirdos and not become management and not differentiate themselves from the rest of the locker room. And he's the furthest thing from that. The guys absolutely love him. You know, when you heard Ernest Jones last year, the middle linebacker, after his 4 interception game and loss to the Rams, their last loss and his last really bad game, you heard Ernest get to the podium and say, he's our quarterback. And if you don't like it, bleep you. Like, that doesn't happen. Yeah. That's not normal behavior in locker rooms. And to me, that resonates. The year before, he was on the shoulders of his Minnesota Vikings teammates late in the year when they won their 14th game, and the guys love him. And to me, that's just job number one as a quarterback, is to win over your locker room and have those guys lay it on the line for you because they know you do it for them, and that puts them in my top 10.
Brock, you were joining me right now, 7:10 a.m. Seattle Sports, 6 to 10 with Mike Salk up there. As you know, I'm a massive Chiefs fan. I got to ask a selfish question. How do you view Kenneth Walker? Because a lot of people have been like, he had that unbelievable run, was Super Bowl MVP. Do you see it as maybe he just benefited and had a short couple weeks there because Zach Charbonnet got hurt, or do you think Kenneth Walker is a franchise running back?
I think Kenneth Walker's got some really good football still left in the tank. He's still a young guy, but I would be a little leery, and you saw this in the Russell Wilson trade. And John Schneider knows his parts pretty well. When you are a homegrown draft and develop and trade team, like, you know your assets very, very well. You have to. It's the way that John is sustained as a GM for nearly 2 decades in Seattle, because he knows how to do that well. And when he feels like, yeah, the football life expectancy is going to be, we got the best of it and we're ready to move on and not extend, I think there should be a little, let's take another look at this because he knows them better than we know them kind of deal. That all said, he's unbelievably explosive. I think even though he's gotten paid, I think he will still play extremely hard. That is an organization. Had he gone to a handful of other organizations, dysfunctional places, Sammy, I think there would be concern. But the fact that the bar and the expectations are so high there in Kansas City, he'll play up to those. I just don't know how many of those 4 years you're going to get. And it's an awful lot of money to spend on that position.
Yeah, it certainly is. Chiefs desperately needed a running back, but it is like John Snyder, and then getting Jadarian Price there at the end of the first round just feels like he's always a step ahead. I'm curious, looking at college football, obviously super tapped in, was a big time quarterback up there at UW. Where do you stand personally? There's so much made of the SEC wants a 16-team playoff, the Big Ten wants a 24-team playoff, and we're at a 12. Where would you like to see it go with all this drama in the offseason?
Oh, gosh, I would just like, for the love of the game, to just have some stability, Sammy. That's what I would like. I would like circuit judges in towns like Oxford, Mississippi, and Lubbock, Texas, to have a level of awareness and a big picture of the game and not just look out for their own self-interest. But that's where the game is with every conference, with every administration, with every coach, and frankly, with every player now trying to take care of themselves in an unbelievably transactional sport. So where am I at, Sammy? I would love to have some stability to sink your teeth into. I would love to have some structure and some guardrails for a sport that's just running amok, that has no rules and no regulations. And if you talk to anybody and listen to presidents and ADs and frankly look at their books in most places, you would see so many programs underwater knowing that this whole deal is unsustainable. So I've got legitimate concerns for where the sport is going. There has to be some level of regulation. I don't know how Congress or commissioners or conferences do that. They're working at it. I wish them all the best, but it is, dysfunctional to say the least.
Brock Heward, host of my Brock and Salk up in Seattle Sports, 7:10 a.m. from 6 to 10 a.m. Brock, thank you so much, man, for jumping on with me today.
Sammy, a blast. Keep killing it. Excited for you in this journey. And the next time you're up, get your running shoes out. We'll run those stairs again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, coming up next, do a little crossover action with Schaefer and Sliwa. That's next on Going Long, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
The Steel Across America tour is incredible.
Half of the crossover is here. John Schaefer's here. Alan Sleewa just, we're going to lock him out of here. Not being on time.
Yeah, you know, he is. He's here. He's just not in the studio.
Yeah, he's getting his water.
Yeah.
Just lollygagging.
Getting ready for the show. You know, we're getting ready for the show. And is he gonna make his way? You got time for this?
Care to join us, pal?
Yeah, look at the time.
When you're on time, you're late. When you're early, you're on time.
What about when you're late?
What about when you're late? Then you're just extra late.
All right, he's making his way in.
You know what's funny? When I saw the on air, I'm like, oh, Sammy's going
still
long.
on the last segment, right?
I swear. I said to myself, oh, Sammy must be going a little long.
No, time got away. Yeah, it gets away.
Day gets away from you.
Yeah.
Day gets away. How are you guys doing today?
We are
busy day today.
It's been busy. We've been in the studio. We've been in the office for a little while.
We got in this. We have like a double. We call it. What do you think? We're
double shift.
Yeah, couple shifts today.
Yeah. You guys were in here early. You guys think I got in here at like 10,
which is very rare for me in like all my time in this building. It's odd when I interact with people that work here in the morning. It's like basically it's like
it's completely
it's
different.
like you don't even have the same coworkers because you don't see each other. You know what I mean? The morning people see the morning people, the afternoon people see the afternoon people.
It is odd because by the time it's like 3 or 4 o'clock, there's very few people here because all the morning shows are out.
Everybody's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's gone.
Pulling in this morning and what's going on with the parking
packed, man.
A lot of people here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is something that irritates me. Like I don't have a spot, but I do have a spot because there's a spot
you like to get.
There's a spot that I like. I feel better about my day when I hit that spot.
Just real quick, Sammy, are you looking for like you want like
a spot?
A sign? Like I don't understand what you're looking for.
I think something there would be like preferably you don't park here. You know what I mean? This is Sammy Long's spot.
Well, hold on. If you win employee of, is it the quarter, Brent? The quarter. If you win employee of the quarter,
what do you get?
You get a lot, including an assigned parking spot. Now, the assigned parking spot you have to like shuttle from. It's even further than the normal parking spots. But yeah, you win like gift cards.
Oh, really?
How do you get
cake?
How do you get employee of the quarter?
Nice cake.
You have to get voted. I'm serious. You have to get voted from your fellow coworkers.
It's almost like winning MVP.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
There's a fan vote, there's a media vote, and then I think the coaches have a vote as well. We do that here too.
I think the only way one of us gets is if we all align one person. We're like, we're gonna get John Schaefer a parking spot, an employee of the month,
Would
employee
it
of
be
the
kind
quarter.
of like a Wemby thing where it's like maybe we don't win, but then we're like, hey, are we really the best employee? But we just didn't get the votes.
Or is it one of those things like if we didn't win, then we say like I didn't even, to be honest,
we didn't even want.
I didn't want
more
it.
about the team.
I didn't want it.
So like
we could hold like
that's an individual award.
We could hold a post employee of the quarter press conference with all the stations.
Yeah, I could see Schaefer like
John. I think could get it.
No, that's not what I was getting at. What I was getting at was I could see Schaefer like. You know how somebody wins it and it's from another station, and when they're giving that person the award, I could see you like in the background of
Rushing
that photo, like not clapping.
Yeah,
Not
and,
clapping.
and like John pulls like a Kanye and he rips it out of Taylor Swift's hands. You know, like at the award show.
Yeah,
I was more like the Wemby looking at SGA getting his.
Oh yeah,
yeah, something like that. Like you weren't happy about it.
It wasn't happy.
Yeah, someone at Rock
you could
got
use
it
it as
or
motivation to win the next quarter's award.
Who decides this?
No, it's
media, the coaches, and I went back to it. There's a lot of
it's
people
democratic.
involved.
It's a voting process.
It's our country. We're democratic, so
that's right.
A lot of people are involved. What are we talking about?
I don't know.
No idea.
How about that game last night?
I listen. I hate to say, the Spurs. It felt completely different from the way they played at home to the way they played on the road. Did it not?
If you started reacting to the Padres game, I was going to lose it. Tell me we're not going there.
Samad Taylor,
3 bunts.
Samad Taylor
We
was
have so much time for that.
Mike Schultz back, small ball.
No, I mean, I thought the Spurs. I mean, I thought it was very impressive.
I was shocked
because they went down there at the half.
Oh,
and then for them to react and respond, and
it's funny.
Some big shots.
I was shocked.
It's funny how the road team in all these games have looked calmer.
Yeah,
in the sense of like the kind of hoopla, the Knicks and the ticket prices, and all these stars being there. It felt like they played tight, and then the Spurs were just like, we just got to go win a ball game, and they were effective.
Just putting the pieces together yesterday. Why was Game 3 the 11,000, 8,000? Why was it? You're not winning the actual championship.
Right? Wouldn't it be Game 6?
No, but it's because New Yorkers. It's like everyone wants the newest iPhone. You line up on day one. Like if you go to day 2 for the iPhone, there's not the long lines.
Let me give you an example. You go pay $8,000. I mean, what do you mean there's no long line? What if they're about to clinch it? Compare it to the clincher.
You can't guarantee it.
I know, but I can guarantee you they're not clinching in Game 3.
Game 3 says people, they haven't hosted a finals game since 99. They're like, I got to be in the building for the first finals game since 99.
I got to see what the price would be.
Well, because Game 6, you don't know.
$20 now.
But you think Game 4 prices would be higher. Not anymore.
What do you think they are right now? Don't look. Like if you go to
get in,
SeatGeek, what's the lowest? I'm going to say under 4.
Yeah, I was going to say 3.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I bet
$3,000.
Really?
Yeah, because now that they lost, everyone's like, whatever.
Well, it's not even whatever. It's 2-1. As in, like,
you can't win it.
You can't win it.
Let's see.
Okay, I'm seeking.
I feel like it would still be $10,000, maybe like 7. So I mean, New Yorkers they're going to go to the game.
SeatGeek right now. You have it, Alan?
What do we got?
What do you got?
44-14.
Yeah.
Really?
Game 5, San Antonio, $1,500.
$5.
Now, Game 6 should start getting crazy because that's probably. I still think Knicks are in a great spot. I was shocked yesterday that San Antonio won. They go down 7 at halftime after being up double digits.
But that's what it felt like they were done.
I'm like, this thing's a wrap.
Yep.
And they, obviously figured out a way to win.
$10,000 to get into Game 6. Here's the reason to buy, but also here's the reason to buy for Game 6 right now. If you want to go heavy on Game 6, you get your money back if it doesn't go 6.
Yeah.
And then secondly, if it does go 6, now, some team can win an NBA Finals in every series in the history of the NBA in the 6th game.
Right.
Every series is 3-2.
And all the Knicks have to do is win one of the next 2 to be set up for Game 6. Game 6 is the one. Game 6 is the one that if I'm going all in,
I agree.
I'm spending in Game 6.
Isn't it kind of odd though how the series, the Knicks are up 2-1, but it is wild how the Spurs have had double-digit leads in Game 1 and Game 2
and 3
and 3
first half yesterday.
Right, and they had leads in the final 2 minutes of the game in all 3 games. So this game 2 could have easily gone another way.
I think Sammy, I think they are the second youngest team to be in the NBA Finals.
It showed.
That's what happens when you're that young, and that's why Knicks did everything to choke away game 2, and Wemby's like, I got you. I'll let me one up your choke. And listen, again, Wemby's been great, but I think that stat that you're pointing out has more to do with they're just so young.
Spurs in 6.
And
I'm not really that I'm not saying it like jokingly. I do think it's at least possible. If you win game 3 there, I feel like it's almost the bigger hurdle was game 3 than game 4. Everyone's been waiting for forever. The stars seem to line for New York.
Tomorrow's gonna be very tough for San Antonio.
I agree. Tomorrow's the toughest because if you win tomorrow, I'm with you. Where it's like, wait, you have home court back.
Shifts. Yeah.
What's the betting line for tomorrow?
It's Knicks minus 1.5.
1 point. Yeah.
So it's a pick.
It's a low,
basically
because everyone watched it. Yeah.
On a neutral floor, it's a pick 'em.
Wow.
So
that's really. I'm surprised. Yeah. Sammy, did you think that would be higher? I think that'd be 3.5, something like that.
I think by game time this will get bet up to 2.5 or 3. I think all the New York money it'll come in late and it'll move the spread.
Mm-hmm.
But Vegas is telling you they think that maybe the Knicks overperformed the first 2 games.
Spurs found the cracks.
What's on the show today? They solved it.
We're talking to Wembanyama at 3:15.
Wow, big game.
3:15. Trump was in the house yesterday. We'll get him at 3:45.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, President of the United States. Victor Wembanyama.
And Kyle Glazer, the great MLB analyst, will join us at 3:30.
And San Diegan, as you told me today.
Kyle Glazer, San Diego. Yeah.
All right, stay tuned for all that. These boys are coming up next. I'll be back tomorrow at 12. See everybody then.